Erica Lorraine Spencer here. This is the P.O.C. pattern of conduct, the ongoing real-time documentation of what is the criminal pattern of conduct of federal stalking in violation of 18 U.S.C. sections 2261A subsection 1 and subsection 2. This is the pattern of conduct underway by a public entity, that is the state of California, that is engaging in federal stalking in concert with the people of the state of California. So this is group conduct. And this is the practicing of what are the criminal elements of monitoring amongst what is the demon possessed. And so this is what is documentation of terrorism as it is underway by a public entity in concert with the people of the state who are in the shoes of the government as this criminal system is in ceaseless operation. And as the state engages in this demented group conduct, this is revealing how the public entity, that is the state of California, that is in the United States of America, how terrorism of an American citizen plays out, what that looks like, how that is facilitated amongst a people, amongst a government, how it is public corruption in plain sight, and not only that, how you formulate policy and how you prosecute that which is demonic conduct, it's demonic activity, but that which is in no way impervious to prosecution in federal court, and being subject to ratification into federal policy. This is the P.O.C. (8ES 3008) 8LKV 252 7A 37665 8WEX 825.
Do you need more alcohol?
It is 7SF 024, substantially similar. And that's a reference to rubbing alcohol. She's not talking about alcohol, and it's audible activity also. License 7J87151. It's 8:59 a.m. City of Ontario. Omnitrans is monitoring going westbound on Holt Boulevard and is sitting at the red light. These are third parties that are patrolling at the intersection of Euclid and Holt.
Longest ass light I've ever been to.
88LF165 VIMALA 1149D13 76702E2 8VWL 396 7RGD. Can't see the rest of that one. Wait, City of Ontario 6ZHC 227 8TWJ 947 7F 24574 4AUX 962. All right. 9 a.m. All right, 543KK. That's a handicap plate. That's not City of Ontario. It's just a third party that drives and patrols on transit under the fake sun in the parking lot of 150 East Holt Boulevard. It is 9:01 a.m. and the state is flying over an aircraft under the fake sun. It's audible activity. And this is sexual violence, as they're all monitoring while I go inside the restroom. 8CET 834. All right, 9:04 a.m. Just as I document inside of the vehicle, as I've already documented about what the sex offender does, that is the public entity, and that's the people, they're one entity. Creating just noise inside of the restroom, which is audible activity, where the demons that surround a relevant position in that unnatural environment are together corporately engaging in surveillance in a restroom, engaging in demonic pacing around a private space, and creating activity. So the state is creating what I want to document at the Ontario Public Health Clinics at 150 East Holt, where the fake sun is directly over the venue and directed light is also present. And I've also documented directed light inside of the bathroom and outside of the bathroom as well. So this is inevitable P.O.C. using the sound of what sounds like some horn. It's the same exact sound they use at the Upland Public Library, by the way. Some random sound like a brrrr. sounding in the bathroom, literally it sounds like that. That's what they're creating audible activity within the bathroom. And I want to document that. It's 9:05 a.m. This is exactly what the state is doing inside of the vehicle when I'm documenting the creation of noise in the car. This is what the state is doing everywhere that you go. So you're seeing how the sex offender is engaging in ongoing surveillance and monitoring and engages in the criminal elements of monitoring. And it is demonic activity while they do so. All right, so it is 9:05 a.m. That's P.O.C. That's sexual violence inside of a private space. All right, it is 9:13 a.m. 8 ECE 270, 6 WFS 699, and 8 UYP 278, 7 WS 087. I'm sorry. 7 VMS 087, 7 HDZ 569, 5 ZHS 925, 528 MUT. 8 PTN 608, 4 R QB 172, 6 T SG 866, 8 EKE 943, 8 WRZ 929.
It rained last night.
Directed light as 8N XF770 drive-by. That's an act of terrorism. These are the same sex offenders. They do that all night long while I'm inside of the vehicle at night. 8N XF770 is crossing path, driving east on Hope Boulevard on the traffic cameras, and the San Bernardino Sheriff's Department is proceeding in the same direction. The state is aiming light inside of the vehicle. 8LRZ 902, ruffling the bag. What you hear is called audible activity in the fake sun and in directed light. License 8VGL 468. License 51628Z2. 4SUW 84. I can't really see the rest of that one. 7J87511. 7PYB 391. 7N 88569. You want me to hold that or what?
Yeah, I had it positioned. So
License, see, it's 9:15 a.m. 5NPU 522. 0U64KO. 8SHH960. And so I captured video of what is directed light. You see my shadow appearing inside of the vehicle, and you see my shadow that's appearing on the door. All right, this is double shadows that are in front of me, and the state's fake sun is in front of me as well. And what I'm speaking to is, as this is demon possession. All right, what they're engaging on are the criminal elements of monitoring, and it's also the mark of demon possession. This is demonic activity. This is terrorism, as these demons engage in federal stalking. So as I'm documenting U.O.64KO. This is the creation of what is directed light at the same time that they drive by the vehicle. This is impossible light activity. That's not what sunlight is doing. That's not what headlights are doing. And the state is using the same directed light, molesting my person with it. This is exactly what I'm describing that the state is doing at nightfall, while the state is also creating audible activity inside of the vehicle, just like the state does inside of a bathroom, just like the state was doing inside of the state facilitating venue of the San Bernardino Sheriff's Department. City of Ontario creating peculiarized light in the middle of Euclid Avenue. So this is what the state is doing. That's what I'm documenting right now. This flashing of light, that's a demon that's crossing path. This is the intentional presence in that unnatural environment. Okay, this is all federal stalking, and these are all demons. Driving wherever they're driving, they are of one demonic mindset. They are not separate and going about that which is distinct from each other. They're monitoring. That's why the fake sun is over me, and that's why directed light is occurring. That ongoing exact same behavioral pattern. All right, that environment, which is entirely unnatural, which is speaking to deliberation and intent. All right, so you're talking about the absence of coincidence, and this is exactly what I'm documenting inside of the vehicle, which I've already shown. I've shown you the double shadows of the door lock, for example, at night while the state is flying over the car in a circle over and over again. And the state is also molesting my breast, for example, with directed light, that which is absolutely unnatural light. You're intentionally placing light on my anatomy. That's a sex offender. Every single last one of them are the same. And just like I stated while I'm in the car, and the state is using the car as a sound piece, this is what the state does in the bathroom. That's a sex offender. All right. So I'm documenting those who are engaged in that same exact conduct. It's an ongoing criminal act, and they are not separate from what the state was doing just 5 minutes ago, nor what the state was doing 5 months ago, nor what the state was doing 5 hours ago. Okay. 7ETH157. They're all one entity. This is demonic. So you're talking about the same satanic entity, the same public entity. And the state's fake son is maintaining presence in the vehicle while driving north up Euclid Avenue. 5TYS427. 8FIF895. 8BBV188. At 1518 Euclid Avenue, 8VDB547. 8TFJ452. 6J19439. 8T46273. They maintain presence in the path wearing hard hats and yellow jackets, engaging in what is appearing as construction. 7FRC735. That's the maintenance of presence and the creation of peculiarized light as well. They're monitoring doing so on the street using CAT as construction vehicles. They're maintaining presence and they're monitoring. Okay, they're under the same exact fake sun. 8SUN673, JOEYD16, 8XRN713. 7BJH391, Hovey Plumbing 508-17N1, 8JYM315, 6FEG455, 8VLZ708, 8JIT740, 90692H2. Demons just crossing path repeatedly, getting onto the 10 East Freeway. They're engaging in federal stalking, utilizing interstate commerce, both because they're on the roads and the highways, and because they are monitoring via communication devices and using the internet to do so. Those are all demons, directed light streaming behind their vehicles. It's absolutely impossible. These are literally demons as I'm identifying them. 4DJV712, 8VDP288, in case I didn't read that one already. Creating peculiarized light in the middle of the street. That's what I'm saying. Wearing construction hat is no form. The pattern of conduct is underway. License plate 7DFU613. They're engaging in federal stalking and terrorism. License plate 6KUG813, 7HIM939, 8TAP874, 46732S1. I think I've read this one. 7TAF582 in case not. 8LXP223. It is 9:21 a.m. 8EKE943, directed light appearing inside of the vehicle before that car crosses path, and they cross path. That's a creation of activity while a demon is monitoring with communication device. Remember the elements of monitoring. All right, light activity relevant positioning. And it's terrorism as demons do so. Stalking with peculiarized light, another utility vehicle on Euclid Avenue. License plate 1282191, City of Upland. And also Union Pacific engaged in P.O.C. as soon as I captured the video of the state flying over my head in the parking lot of the public health clinics at 150 Holt. And the state that is amplifying the sound of the plane, it's flying over, and yet it is competing with the ability to hear my own voice. That's called amplification. 6UDX957, you have what is immediately sounding the sound of a train, which is amplified. That's the same train that the state uses to create audible activity at 630 North Fern Avenue, sitting in the car. And inside of the Woodside Senior Apartment, 6YYA033, 8KOY192. 204 North Euclid Avenue, State's fake sun is over the venue now in the city of Upland. It's 9:22 a.m. That's documentation of federal stalking from Ontario to Upland. All right, it's 9:27 a.m. I'm on the surveillance cameras inside of the 7-Eleven at 204 North Euclid Avenue. This is how a venue is engaging in the pattern of conduct and what is terrorism. I'm literally going to prosecute 7-Eleven for being a terrorist and engaging in documented acts of harassment by entity and kidnapping. I was kidnapped by the Ontario police at 7-Eleven in Ontario, remember that. While I'm standing inside in front of the fountain drinks, the state is aiming directed light. This is the walls of light I showed you inside of Starbucks. I've showed you inside of Dunkin' Donuts. The one on Mountain Avenue, you saw the walls, the square-shaped lights flashing. I showed you this inside of Vaughn's at Foothill. This is exactly what they're doing right in front of me. That's an act of terrorism while demons surround. He's standing in front looking at Eichmann like he's focused on that. She's standing behind me getting a cup of coffee like she's focused on that while you have the demonic environment. And these are demons that surround. That's the terrorism by the people. Psychopaths, okay? They're the same ones that are sex offenders as well. I want to document that, and I'm going to take a picture of where this absolutely impossible flashing light is occurring. It's 9:28 a.m. All right, and I also want to document Tracy Banks, license plate 4WON432. She is here engaging in terrorism of one whom she knows. I'm Tracy Banks. I happen to be blood related to her. Demon possession does not run through the blood, thank goodness. She's engaging in P.O.C. with the rest of these psychopaths on camera, and she's monitoring. And what does she do to maintain presence? She's buying a car wash. She's engaging in the same demonic system right now. It is 9:29 a.m. I want to document that. She's engaging in P.O.C. while she's outside. Hi. This is it. How much you charge for that? Yeah. All right. Thank you. You're next. All right. It's 9:29 a.m. That's P.O.C. What do you... All right. So I did capture an image. I want to be clear. There's somebody identifying herself as some distributor for tobacco. She's maintaining presence inside of 7-Eleven while I'm taking pictures of the area where the state is flashing directed light. All right, I want to get these license plates. These are all demons that are maintaining presence. This is understanding what is the practicing of demonic activity as demons engage in this conduct together. 5WWN687, 89756V1, 4WON432, Tracy Banks is here, 6VLA267, pacing in a vehicle. And what's the form? Driving forward and reversing and driving forward and reversing under the fake sun. That's a demon. And it's also the creation of audible activity. 49674V1 and 8VYJ720. Sun chips, Frito-Lay brand. They're inside maintaining presence, engaging in that terrorism while the state is placing walls. That's what I mean by the square-shaped flashing light. I showed you the directed light outside. Directed light is outside as well. And the state is creating that light activity, which is an act of terrorism by demons while they're maintaining presence. License 8X84318. That is Sun Chips Frito-Lay engaging in terrorism. And again, that demon against the surface of that vehicle that she is in, showing that there is no separation for the pattern of conduct. It's a demon sitting in relevant positions. 6VBB800. License plate 83972W2. UMT Unicare Medics. Understand that brand that they will be associated with terrorism. She's got directed light under the car while she's sitting. She's got directed light, my enlarged size of my shadow on the side of the door while she's sitting in there. She's aiming light onto the brick wall in front of her. This is a demon engaging in that same behavioral pattern under the fake sun. This is a demon engaging in the state's pattern of conduct, okay? And then while she's standing behind me inside of the 7-Eleven, the state aiming directed light all around inside of that venue. That's terrorism by UMT Unicare Medics. She's using that vehicle. You document with whatever you have at your disposal. The state is not in any way avoiding prosecution or being identified. Commercial actors will have to be more choosy. You ought not hire any psychopaths because your company will be prosecuted and you're going to drain their pockets. You're going to associate them with terrorism in the United States of America because that's what they're doing. License plate 7WJF627. That's audible activity created by Tracy Banks as she goes to the car wash to engage in monitoring Erica Lorraine Spencer. That's a psychopath that I'm documenting. Okay? That's the reality of who Tracy Banks is, and I've documented much, much more. It's 9:32 a.m. It's P.O.C. All right. License plate 3PXH408. Directed light while that demon drives by with license 95960P1. Directed light crosses all across this. They have an explosive, this box with 130, like a triangle. I'm sorry, not a triangle, a diamond shape. It's probably some sort of explosive vapor sign speaking to what is caution. This tall wall, directed light across it while they drive by. Same thing with Tracy Banks. Yeah.
Come on.
It is currently 9:33 a.m. 1518512, that's Upland Police Department, 9:34 a.m. at what is 9th Street and Euclid Avenue crossing path. (6URB 730). That's a demon crossing path. The state aims directed light across the ceiling, on the top of the car, all through the inside of the car while they drive by. The state's fake sun is to the passenger side of the vehicle. And so their vehicle, as they drive on the passenger side in the shade under the tree, okay, we're at Arrow Highway and Euclid Avenue. I'm just describing what is the creation of the elements while a demon-possessed stalker engages in crossing a path and that which is impossible light accompanying that engagement in that element. And this is an act of terrorism, and this is what the state also does with the molestation of your body, and the state does it over and over and over again, okay? Times the many people in California, they're all stalking together. This is how demons engage in that system. That's terrorism and sexual violence. 7WJF 627, 7HMC 762, 5CJTA.
So what side
621. You can just drop me off right here. USPS engaging in P.O.C. using the brake lights as light activity. USPS license 7200811. It's 9:36 a.m.
Okay, this side or over there?
Well, you act like you gotta go. You just drop me off right here at the corner. License 31295N1, USPS 0213471, 6AYW112, USPS 0213474, 89756V1. That's the group stalker that was monitoring at 7-Eleven, engaging in terrorism as its directed light swipes across the voltage box. That's what it looks like. Some sort of surface where the state was aiming light. Or it looks like that truck. It's 9:37 a.m. State's fake sun in the same position that I captured at 7:50 in the morning and that I captured after 2 p.m. on, excuse me, I got all my stuff, where I left Upland Public Library upon criminal summoning by that state actor. And they called the Upland Police as they fabricated a narrative because they're scared of my documentation. And then the state's fake sun is captured at that same corner of Foothill and Euclid Avenue. That's exactly where the state's fake sun is right now at 9:37 a.m. There you go. And that is after remaining over what is, again, in the city of Ontario. You're drawing that ongoing point. This is clearly not the sun, as I'm also showing what is clearly not sunlight. In doing so, after, first of all, directed light, 8KBR083, 7JBJ855. But let me give you video because I'm going to prosecute the entirety of the entity. All right? It's 9:37 a.m. State's fake sun in the same position in the early morning, in the middle of the afternoon, while also having been documented remaining over me at one building all day long. Okay? It's 9:38 a.m. P.O.C. USPS, again, crossing path at Foothill. That's called pacing, and that's just the identification of one actor. Understand the demonic activity, identifying by license plate, identifying by brand. License 89575A3. And as they all cross paths, just like when I'm in the car, impossible light activity accompanying their presence. 8SWK019, 7PPC736, G981NO, 8HRJ739, 8TXN624, 8NXB140, 7NVM013, 8AKK371, 8MSW495. All right, and in the same way, you are seeing how the state engages in the same exact stalking conduct regardless of what time. It's also regardless of what time of the year. 8T61911. That's why the state's fake sun is at the intersection of Foothill and Euclid right now, maintaining presence over me. 7X04606. Direct evidence against these demons. 8BQJ042. Many of whom are not even American citizens. They're going to be shipped out of this country. We don't need any more demons or terrorists. We certainly don't need anyone being in this country engaging in the violation of another American citizen, a natural-born American citizen, by the way. One, I am RUDY, or I am Rudy. Rudy is a stalker, 7TWB387. Rudy is demon-possessed. Rudy's a psychopath, 61891B3. 7WJN857, 8HNJ095, 8GVR706. All right, all of them just studying their communication devices. This is the center focus of this demonic system. They're studying their communication devices. Technology is the center of what they are doing. They're doing it on behalf of the government that is monitoring, and they're all monitoring together. LG, Oh, I'm going to sue LG. 56643V2. I'm going to sue them. License plate AS10E62 4464082. 8TNE601. That's the same one. Yeah, SecTrans Security Inc. License YMNOTRY. While these demons are crossing paths, understand the same thing that the state is doing inside of a Starbucks, inside of a bathroom, inside of the vehicle, inside of any Dunkin' Donuts. I'm showing you the directed light. This is what the state is, this is what they're doing outside. Directed light surrounding all these demons. They're surrounding me with activity. 8NVX971, 6JDS160, 8KNB655, paper plate AX82. Oh, I can't really see the rest of it. License 8NNP703, 8LWN462, 8KMZ035, 6YAY752, 6TWE885, 36055H1, 6WYN727, 8KAG673, 7EBP694, 8UVK939, 4EW, I'll get that one in a second, hold on, 8RZN709. This is 4EWW474. Yeah. It is 9:44 a.m. This is direct evidence as to terrorism. 7VAJ 460, 6GAZ 847, 5FUM 033, 7WPD 008. That's audible activity. 8EEA 540, 8GUC, can't see the rest of it, 7ZFB 971, 6YJU 494, 8CMG 556. It's 9:45 a.m. FedEx crossing path on traffic cameras, driving north on Euclid Avenue. They're engaging in federal stalking. It's a large white-sized truck. It's a marker. City of Upland crossing path doing the same. It's a marker as to my location and as to what is ongoing. They're engaging in federal stalking. This is terrorism by the demon possessed. That is who is surrounding in traffic. That's who's surrounding in the nearby venues. Uptown and Country Shopping Center, monitoring in relevant position, okay? That's why the state has what is directed light all across the surfaces over here while these demons are patrolling. 4EWW474, and if not American citizen, he needs to be out of this country. 3VVY008. Let's see, it is 9:46 a.m. And like I was stating, the state's fake sun engaging in what is absolute, let me get this right, 4WPV236. Absolute deviation from its established pattern of remaining at the Upland Public Library, 7JHT423, which it already did when it remained over me at the 630 North Fern Avenue after 10 a.m. 5AQZ651. All right, I'm just showing you what it has nothing to do with the time of day. It has nothing to do with the time of year. Even though I have gone so far to document that, I'm showing you what is stalking with light, the practicing of satanic conduct, including the United States Postal Service, license 0213472. That's a demon-possessed stalker acting as the state representing the United States Postal Service, engaging in federal stalking. Okay, license plate 7JYM490. Demon possession is not limited based on your identity. I'm showing you what is terrorism practiced by the entirety of an entity. And you can literally prosecute, you can slice them all down and prosecute because the government is acting through everyone. Everyone. There is no exception. That's why the environment is present. And you're also talking about what is the impermissible threat as you document the United States Postal Service, as you document FedEx, as you document Vons, for example, as you document Starbucks, as you document LG, as you document whoever it is that you are documenting where you are subject to that life-threatening monitoring conduct by a psychopath acting corporately, who is also a sex offender, all right? You can prosecute for all of that. That's what policy is going to enforce. And it's necessary because this is how the government is acting. 8PJV322, and it's absolutely required as a matter of justice and not to be tolerated by government. 8DLP745. 8RFW860, 8SZZ581. License plate 6PMJ100, 78CN007, 8BHG655, 8WMP900, 8POA464, 24327F2, 8BNZ655, 8WCL091. Yeah, FedEx crossing path again, directed light, tall directed light behind that vehicle. That's a demon-possessed stalker. FedEx communicating hostility in that regard. You're understanding what is how demons conduct themselves. All right, the directed light is always present, yes, but as I identify, demons engage in active hostility, and that's communicated by FedEx. You're going to prosecute FedEx for that. You're going to drain their pockets. You're going to show them to be engaging in terrorism of American citizens. 92133D1. United States Postal Service pacing again, and what you'll see on the traffic cameras, that's exactly what you'll see. 7XCN 279. I'm right here, and they're pacing in United States Postal Service vehicles. Those are demons, okay? 7EIR 635. .848 VRB Arkansas 52680 handicap. 8HAC 911. All of them touching. Okay, I've already shown you what's directed light, and all of these sex offenders, all of them are molesting at the same time. Okay, the demons are filthy creatures. Okay, have no regard whatsoever for let alone constitutional rights, but your personal individual rights. And they are engaging, while they engage in this demented satanic system, they are engaging in ongoing violation and physically doing so as well. 486ZD handicap, that old man engaging in federal stalking. I'm gonna prosecute his old self for being a sex offender while he's engaging in terrorism. I don't care how old he is. There's no form. That's what's going down. 8VKS 279. This old geezer, he's a pervert. License plate 7ZFY565. Crossing path into the fake sun. And Satan is not discriminating on your age or your race. It doesn't matter what you look like. They are a shell. Satan is operating through a people and through a government. 8LKK191. And they are 6 psychopaths. All right, that's not just a sex offender. That's a sex offender that knows you're revealing that they are a sex offender and wants to touch and molest and invade even more so. That's a very violent sex offender. 7UKP623. 7JBDs 469, 4XWA 264, and it is currently 9:50 a.m. States Fake Sun, stationary over the intersection of Foothill and Euclid at 20 East Foothill, where the U.S. Bank is. And that's what I showed on video. 8EHG 681, 8UTW 665, 6E 23129, 945ZG. And understand how the demonic system works. The entirety of the entity is focused on me. That's why the environment is here. And that's what the significance of showing what is a fake sun. And literally demons go out of their way, engaging in whatever it is that they are engaging in, going to their doctor appointment. They will go to get them some French fries from the McDonald's in relevant position. They will go to the Vons in relevant position to either clock in for work, whatever it is that they're doing. They are focused on maintaining presence. This is a demonic entity pacing around. All right, deviating from whatever so that they can cross path. This is the maintenance of presence. This is not ordinary traffic. This is demonic activity. License plate 2791661 Indiana, Central Transport US.661173. Back license plate is 1022FB. License of Love Air 02196U1. 6BQA 138, 7VNK 492. All right, and you already know what directed light is. This is what is spewing across the asphalt while they're crossing paths. These are demons, one after another after another. 4YOA 617 or 4YQA 617. That's a female, a Latino or Asian female. It is 9:52 a.m. 6GDS 962. 5ZGT 189. 4YWR 970. 7GEL 062. 6XYK015. 9:52 a.m. and the fact that you have, and that is an established fact, that which is not the sun over my head, that is also a direct demonstration of what our psychopaths that are surrounding. 7RMX067, 18169X2, 8RAA774, 7P89074, 197ST handicap, 7UOM225, 7WGR406, 18387T1, 6WER737, 8WHM115, 5XPG110, 7SHR982, 183ZH handicap, BT30J67 paper. 5ULT925, 7GV H053, 8RRE 985, Artisano, Nature's Harvest, monitoring, engaging in terrorism. All right, they're the same vehicle, it's just a commercial brand. That same terrorism with directed light, that which is not sunlight, streaming from the tires on your car, streaming from the back of your car, aiming backwards toward my direction as you're driving east on Foothill Boulevard. That's a demon possession. 7NUE276, and that's terrorism by the demon possessed engaging in federal stalking. 143NG, handicap, that's an old geezer, a demon possessed old geezer, all right? He's a half a block away from death. 7JDJ478, and he's engaging in federal stalking. That's demon possession, engaging in the same exact system. Doesn't matter how old you are, the state is engaging in the presence, and that those same elements are being maintained. And by the way, that is a psychopath, a very old psychopath. Being under the fake sun is only to be a secret to the one who's being monitored by the state. These psychopaths are in that environment with knowledge and intentionally. 8NHL844. They're a bunch of sickos. It's 9:54 a.m. State's fake sun is nowhere near the Upland Public Library. Nowhere. License 5BKF097, 7UQL769, 2MZM831, 5Z13547, 87197C3, 6LZB274, 30834N2, 8VAZ089, 8YGB084, 3FEG814, which I have already shown. This. I walked west down Foothill Boulevard, and that's where I captured the state's fake sun over the U.S. Bank at 20 East Foothill at 7:50 in the morning, and state's fake sun was nowhere near the Upland Public Library at 10 o'clock in the morning. When I walked to my former residence at Reading Way and 11th Street, state's fake sun is over me at that street, not over the Upland Public Library. 8MVT676, 31329G3, 31329G3, yeah, 5UNZ007, 66024D3. License 8HHY055, FedEx crossing path again, just like United States Postal Service, they're demons, as you identify them. 70TMM033, that's a demonic behavioral pattern. 8HIY318. That is a demonic behavioral pattern. That's Satan, that I'm showing you the character of Satan, okay? It's just under the brand of FedEx. It's the same Satan, okay? License 7MRU467, 8PRP823. It is currently 9:56 a.m. And let me give you the license plate of Satan that's driving a FedEx vehicle. Number 108792, license 8Y18213. It's the same thing that Amazon Prime did, okay? It's Satan operating over the brand of, through the use of a brand name. It's the same demonic entity, and that's that satanic character, especially as you identify them. You'll see all of a sudden a whole bunch of United States Postal Service vehicles pacing back and forth. This started once I started identifying United States Postal Service. As I started identifying, for example, Amazon Prime, this is when you have just Amazon Prime all over the place, even more so, okay? This is Satan understanding that they've been identified and that they are hostile to it, okay? It's the same elements of monitoring, but I'm giving you context. Not only is this terrorism, as you identify that actor, you have what is engaging in more and more of it. That's a threat by the demonic that are engaging in federal stalking. And you're gonna prosecute FedEx, Amazon Prime, the United States Postal Service, which is the government, all right, and engaging in those acts of terrorism, documented acts of terrorism, which is the demonic behavioral pattern. The state is doing the same thing to the people in their individual cars. You're only separating it in your mind because it's a different face and a different license plate, but it's the same actor. All right, brands such as Omnitrans, etc., they're readily identifiable through that unified brand name. It's P.O.C, it's 9:57 a.m.
Route 66, Fontana Net Rolling.
All right, it is 9:59 a.m. and I'm on Route 66. Which will show also on surveillance cameras. Directed light is on the bus. The state's fake sun is keeping in the window in alignment with me driving east on Foothill Boulevard, far away from the Upland Public Library, okay? 9:59 a.m., 10 a.m., I'm clearly at the Upland Public Library yesterday, and then I'm drawing a contrast where I am clearly at 630 North 3rd Avenue at 10 a.m., and the state is keeping its fake sun over me. The state is right now keeping its fake sun in alignment with the vehicle that I am inside of. That is federal stalking, using vehicles on the roads and the highways while they are monitoring with communication devices. And this is the blatant stalking with a light source that is clearly not the sun. This is the practicing of terrorism by a government that's engaging in that and doing so with the people of the state, acting via the Ontario Police Department, the Upland Police Department, as I'm documenting them going from city to city and being subject to this stalking system. Directed light is on the bus, and the state is aiming directed light while the demon-possessed engage in the same exact crossing and path as what the state is doing now on another venue, which is Omnitrans. All right, and the state's fake sun remains over. It's P.O.C. It's 10 a.m. on the dot. 6ZKW085. All right, I did document video so you can see the state's fake sun at 10 o'clock in the morning. Nowhere near what is the Upland Public Library, just like I captured yesterday. 10 o'clock, 10:05, the state's keeping its fake sun. First of all, I'm starting from what is 630 North Fern Avenue. State's keeping its fake sun over the car while it's molesting my body with what is directed light, which I showed you a sample of that as I'm showing what is just randomly appearing light touching on my anatomy. The state does this on a cyclical basis in concert with the people of the state who are demons that are engaging in what is crossing a path while that which is not sunlight appears all around me. This is terrorism in an environment, and this is also molestation while the state touches my body with that which is not sunlight while I am being followed literally with a light source that is not the sun. And this is the third day I'm making this immediate contrast, showing you how it has nothing to do with the time of day, has nothing to do with the time of year. The state is engaging in the demonic conduct of stalking with a light source, stalking with light, and doing so on a massive scale because the people of the state are monitoring and they are demon possessed also. This is revealing what is satanic in the state of California while the demon possessed engage in what is federal stalking in violation of 18 U.S.C. 22618, both subsections 1 and 2. And I am on third party facilitating venue Omnitrans, proceeding east on Foothill. And what I captured at 10 o'clock in the morning is the state's fake sun very far anywhere from 450 North Euclid Avenue, the Upland Public Library, where the state at this time keeps its fake sun based on where I'm at on whatever side of the Upland Public Library. But namely, let's just focus on where it keeps it while I'm inside of the venue. While I'm in front of the entrance, it's right over me in alignment with me. And as I enter, it keeps it over D Street, moving it around at the over the top of the library while I'm inside of the venue. And this is nowhere possible to coexist while I'm in motion at this time. 10 o'clock, it's 10:03 a.m. I am in motion. State's keeping its fake sun in motion with in alignment with me on the bus, which is a venue, as I'm driving through what is Rancho Cucamonga now. Yet the state is keeping its fake sun stationary on D Street. And by stationary, that's exactly what I mean. That's why it's there from the morning until the evening. All right. Upon exit, the state is keeping its fake sun in alignment with me, and it is necessarily keeping it on D Street. That's why I'm able to capture it throughout the day, aiming what is its fake sun as I aim my phone upward, facing D Street, because that's the only street that you can see from that library window that is along D Street. And so this is P.O.C. This is revealing the state's pattern of stalking with that which is not a sun. And this is a light source where federal stalking is underway. This is terrorism in the state of California. 6536 5W2. That is P.O.C. It's 10:04 a.m. E4. Oh, I can't really see that one. You can scratch that. It is 10:04 a.m. though. I'm going to document license plates while they are engaging in federal stalking while I'm on the bus.
If possible, please use Orchard Plaza.
By the way, every third-party group stalker that is on this bus is monitoring. All right, and they're on surveillance cameras. They're in directed light. They're under the fake sun. This is the venue that's in motion, and they're monitoring. I'm at bus stop number 7063. I'm located at 9113 Foothill Boulevard. It is 10:05 a.m. Bus number 2348, Route 66. The Foothill Professional Center located at 9113 Foothill Boulevard. So you have minions that get off, another minion that gets on. It's the same demonic entity. It's the same public entity maintaining presence on this venue where the fake sun is keeping in alignment with the bus. All right? It's 10:05 a.m. They're on cameras. Snap-on. Snap-on is a distributor for like mechanic parts and whatnot. They're monitoring across the path into the fake sun. Fake sun at 10:06 in the morning at Pet Boys Auto. That's where I'm driving past at Hellman and Foothill Boulevard. I'm passing the Foothill Village Plaza on Foothill Boulevard in Hellman. And the state's fake sun is directly over. Inside of the Foothill Village is the Chuck E. Cheese, Cucamonga Pharmacy, Smile Care, Brands for Less. This is where the state's fake sun is right now at 10:06 a.m. Foothill and Helms. Understand tree trimming in the middle of Foothill Boulevard is light activity. That's peculiarized light. And that is on what is Foothill Boulevard at Helms. They're maintaining light in the middle of the street. Wearing a construction hat is no form. That's P.O.C. It is 10:07 a.m.
Stop requested. If possible, please use rear doors. Archibald Avenue.
Archibald Avenue. I think that's what he said. But yeah, Archibald and Foothill Boulevard. At the Bank of America, bus stop number 7066, directed light moves across on the bus on the inside while she opens the door. This is P.O.C. as demons get on and off. And Omnitrans systematically monitoring the same directed light conduct, doing it under the guise of what is a bus operation. Okay? P.O.C. I did capture what is, so you can see what is directed light on the bus and moving it all about while they open the door. And I've documented this before. I just gave you a visual of what I've been documenting for years. This is also not the sun that's over the bus, and that's not sunlight, that's directed light. Again, even if the sun was visible over the bus, this is light that is being aimed at an angle through every direction onto the bus. And that is light that's being moved about intentionally, artificially, not naturally occurring. That's called directed light while they are crossing a path, all right? That is P.O.C, and that's what I captured in video. It's 10:10 a.m. at ARTE, A-R-T-E. That's at 10130 Foothill Boulevard. That's a residential area. They're stalking with light on the street using their hazards, maintaining that same peculiarized light stalking in the path, okay? And the state is remaining with its fake sun over the bus as I'm traveling very far from the Upland Public Library. Just want to make that point. Nowhere near being 630 North Fern Avenue. At the same time, 1010, remember, I'm still remaining at the 630 North Fern Avenue in the city of Ontario. And at the same time, I'm also remaining at the Upland Public Library, all right? And I'm documenting for your eyes to see what is demonic activity and that which is not the sun. This is revealing the reality of the demons who are on surveillance camera on this bus and those who are in relevant positions driving around the bus. At Haven and Foothill, it is currently 10:10 a.m. And let me see, I want to get 8X19846 63447S1 7VYX797 7LSA 660. Let's see, 8BZZ187. It is 10:11 a.m. in this. I believe there are traffic cameras. There are traffic cameras at Foothill and Haven, and I'm on Route 66, and this is federal stalking. They're monitoring inside of the plaza that is at the intersection where the Panera Bread is, where the plaza of the, I believe this is called, let me get the name of it. They're monitoring, and also the Rancho Cucamonga Superior Court. This is Rancho Cucamonga Town Square. They're monitoring. Fake sun is over it. The Rancho Cucamonga Superior Court, right here at 8303 Haven Avenue. The state's fake sun passing over it, just like you saw it passing over in the middle of the afternoon. The state would keep its fake sun over that court building while I was kidnapped outside of that venue for the duration of the day. It wasn't moving anywhere. It stayed directly over the courthouse. and you see the fake sun moving at an entirely different part of the day, nowhere near what is the Upland Public Library or 630 North Fern Avenue. The Rancho Cucamonga Superior Court is a facilitating venue, a state facilitating venue. 7YZR105.
Rancho Cucamonga Civic Center.
License 8BHK 452. 7XXJ 452. I am at bus stop number 7070 at Foothill at 10:12 a.m.
66. Fontana met Williams.
All right, passing 10797 Foothill Boulevard, Chipotle at 10811, Starbucks at 10831 Foothill Boulevard. Approaching, yeah, this is called Spruce Plaza. The Spruce Plaza at Foothill. Foothill and Spruce. Yeah, that's the Spruce Plaza. It's 10:13 a.m. They're monitoring at Spruce Plaza. Okay.
Elm Avenue.
All right, that is Foothill and Elm. State's fake sun is necessarily in movement. But you see that contrary to what the state is doing at the Upland Public Library, for example, or the Ontario Ovitt Family Community Library. It stays there for the duration of the day. But while I'm on a bus, understand this is rapid movement from place to place, and the state is moving very, very quickly, all right? So this is showing what is blatant stalking, all right? License 8M-KC214. The state keeps its fake sun over those venues for the duration of the day. All right, and not moving. That's why it's present in the morning and present in the evening as I exit. But yet while I'm in transit in a vehicle, it's moving very rapidly in order to remain in the same position in the window in alignment with me on in the vehicle. Okay, that's the contrast. You're looking at the difference. That is also a clear example of what is clearly not the sun. It moves when I move. In other words, if I don't move, the state's fake sun does not move. All right, United States Postal Service stalking in the path at Foothill and Milliken, and you'll see that on traffic cameras. You're witnessing demon possession. Stalking while I'm on the Omnitrans bus under the fake sun. It's 10:15 a.m. This is Zendejas at Foothill and Milliken at 10:15 a.m. 5FFZ012 8MCL021 at 11425 Foothill Boulevard. I'm at Milliken and Foothill. That is a restaurant. I'm at the Lowe's. It's a restaurant in the same plaza as the Lowe's. It's 10:15 a.m.
Thank you. I'm catching the other bus. The 82.
This is audible activity under the fake sun.
Thank you. You're welcome. Now I understand.
That's P.O.C.
Now I understand. Drive safe, Brady. Now I understand why.
That's audible activity. She's under the fake sun.
Thank you.
Anyway, it is Foothill and Milliken. This is, I can't see the bus stop number, but at the intersection where, Foothill and Milliken, where the plaza, where there's a Lowe's in this plaza, at Milliken and Foothill. It is license plate, let's see, 4LZ8891, 8NFJ724. 231WD handicap, and again the same pattern of conduct. While they're driving by, the state is keeping its fake sun over me, and while they're driving by, flashing of light, directed light moving across the top on the inside of a bus. Not only is that impossible, you're talking about what would be what is suggesting light that's supposedly some reflection bending upward and into the bus into the bus as you are outside driving past the bus. All right, it's asininity. All right, it's demonic activity. These are demons that are crossing path, and they're monitoring with the state that's stalking with the fake sun. FedEx crossing path 7X70954. They're engaging in terrorism. And Wahoo's Fish Tacos at Foothill and Mayton. Located at 11561 Wahoo's Fish Tacos. They're monitoring.
Cassie Drive.
Fake sun is over that building, over that venue. I'm being subject to systematic federal stalking, and this is a demonic system, 8MJK710. Or 8MKJ710. It's a white BMW SUV.
Stop requested.
It's 10:17 a.m.
If possible, please use rear doors.
Si posible. Favor usar la puerta trasera. Thank you.
State's flying in a helicopter, 10:18 a.m. 8XAZ887, and the state flying over in what is a black helicopter that rapidly disappears after I start my video. All right, it was flying over Foothill Boulevard, meaning it was flying north across Foothill Boulevard from where I was located at about where Rochester is. Where I'm approaching Rochester right now, the helicopter immediately disappears. That's usually when they make a turn in order to be behind trees, for example, so that I can't capture it on video. This is the psychopath that knows it's being documented. It is being attributed to the venue where I am at. That's Omnitrans. They're monitoring with the state. Okay, that's terrorism as I'm experiencing it, not only by direct light and stalking with a fake sun, but helicopter stalking. You're monitoring with that state that's stalking in a helicopter. That's terrorism by Omnitrans. It's 10:19 a.m. 8JTH339, San Bernardino Sheriff's Department, crossing path at Rochester and Foothill at 10:20 a.m. Driving south on Rochester. LXS 326 7CSM 982, I believe.
Ready to meet your transit needs. Download the OmniRide on-demand app today or visit omnitrans.org.
7KHB 807. 7KHB as in boy 807. Passing what is Day Creek and Foothill Boulevard. This is Victoria Gardens. State's fake sun passing over 7KXL 161. 30174K2. 99-cent store. That's a demon-possessed stalker driving a vehicle with the 99-cent store brand on it. Okay? Doing business with them, engaging in federal stalking with that brand on that vehicle. The same with FedEx. 99 cents getting on the 15 freeway, the 15 south. FedEx is driving west on Foothill Boulevard, crossing path. It's 10:22 a.m. WME 459 7ZV 715. Can't really see that one. This is bus stop number 7075 at Foothill. And let's see. This is the plaza where the In-N-Out is. The Walmart is right after the 15 freeway. I think I'm approaching. This would be, I want to say Cherry up here. Let's see. Across from, what is this? U-Grill. International Restaurant Village. There's a U-Grill inside of International Restaurant Village. And Lux, L-U-X-E. It's like a restaurant plaza, I guess. China Republic, another restaurant. Oh no, this is Etowanda. All right, so it is at Foothill and Etowanda, the plaza where the Food for Less is. And there's an In-N-Out where the 15 freeway is. So I just want to be clear, this is where I'm at on the bus, trying traveling east on Foothill Boulevard, and the fake sun is over the vehicle. 7EDE 234 7SO8847. It's 10:24 a.m. Clean Street monitoring 8SGZ 697. Can only see the restaurant, but that's Clean Street. Engages in the pattern of conduct very often. Is crossing a path. Let's see. Passing Cornwall and Foothill.
Stop requested. If possible, please use rear doors.
And remember, every time she's making a stop under the fake sun, this is a creation of activity on the bus. Directed light is stationary on the bus. When you open, when she opens and closes the door, this is no reflection of sunlight. This is a creation of swiping directed light through at the entrance area while they cross path, getting on and off the bus. This is facilitation of federal stalking, and this is activity creation on the Omnitrans bus. All right, every time they get on and off.
Hi, Omnitrans.
That's
riders.
audible activity
Share
as well.
Your moment and tag at Omnitrans in your daily commutes. You just might be featured on our social media pages. Like always, remember to stay safe, sanitize your hands regularly, and wear your mask on us. Learn more at omnitrans.org.
7X9437L 7WLJ952. At Cottonwood and Foothill, passing Heritage, the housing subdivision.
If possible, please use rear doors.
Passing Mulberry and Foothill. 90923 L2. 8 BAF. I want to say 521. Can you want to see the rest of that one? Banana and Foothill at 10:28 a.m.
Almond Street.
All right, and this is documentation of the state of California engaging in federal stalking using the roads and the highways. This is stalking, federal stalking in operation while I'm in a vehicle, maintaining that environment, okay? And as I pass by any venue, whether someone lives there, whether someone is working there, they are maintaining the environment because federal stalking is underway. This is the state of California engaging in federal stalking. This is the public entity engaging in it.
Cherry Avenue.
8BVK 714. This is at Foothill and Cherry. Right? Yeah, Cherry. The Jack in the Box at Foothill and Cherry. I'm looking for it. Let's see. Oh, 14485 Foothill Boulevard. CS 404, 6 CDB 665, 7XGP 035, 43810C2, 8 TTV 204, 7 RAV 651.
Redwood Street.
Passing 15034, 15074. That is the plaza at Foothill. That's a shopping plaza. Just for purposes of understanding where I'm at, the state's fake sun keeping in the window of the vehicle.
Beach Avenue.
The state is stalking with peculiarized light, using their vehicle lights, flashing lights, wearing a hard hat, driving a big truck is no form. Clearly you don't have any form while the fake sun is remaining over the bus of the Omnitrans at 10:31 in the morning. They're at Sultana and Foothill Boulevard at 10:31. It's P.O.C. At the Tailored Services Delta Children, those are buildings that are there. They're across from that, creating light activity using their trucks. And the demons are pacing in vehicles. USPS is driving with hazards on, not parked. They're driving with their hazards on. All right. Okay. It is license plate 5SOJ846. $15723. Storage. That looks like a storage center. 7 LUT 884 97897Z2 at Almeria Avenue in Foothill. At Foothill True Value, located at 15825 Foothill Boulevard at 10:32 a.m.
Catawba Street.
Citrus Avenue and Foothill. Six FMF 209. License 33886R1. Seven LEH 720. 04123X1. At bus stop number 7089. Z087466. It's 10:35 a.m. This is activity creation as I get on the bus. 8HIZ411, 8BXK447, 8DQX809, 7TGT036, 7HSU775, 7GWR692, excuse me. 5ELG, can't really see the rest of them. I'm at Oleander and Foothill. 5 SOJ 486, I believe. It's the same one maintaining presence driving down Foothill Boulevard. 97565A1. Six EWB 195 at yeah. 8JNH 612. Seven FAS 529.
Cypress Avenue.
Six CUF 793. 7DGW 486. At Juniper and Foothill, Fontana Police Department is crossing path at 10:37 a.m. driving south on Juniper. Directed light remains on the bus. The state's fixed sign remains over 7YHB 142 5WBE089. They're monitoring with the Fontana Police Department. License, including Omnitrans, but I'm documenting the third parties that are patrolling via traffic. They're engaging in federal stalking, driving around, engaging in this pattern of conduct. 8PCH 837. All right. 6XWJ054 documented on my video camera. I just want to show what is the presence under that environment and where there is intentional presence coexisting with that intentionally maintained environment that's absolutely unnatural, maintained over the one that's being subject to federal stalking, and that is a documentation of terrorism by the people acting with the state. And Fontana Police Department engaging in crossing a path as I was documenting. They're all monitoring. 8PCH 837. 32896N1 and 7LVT840 directed light appearing on the bus. 6DFK, I'm sorry, scratch on it, 33703B1. So while those demons 7NZJ218 cross path, proceeding south on Juniper, directed light is appearing on the bus. Okay, where the bus driver sits, up along this black panel behind them, impossible light activity, and this is the state's directed light. The rich white concentrated light I've shown you inside of Starbucks. That's what the state is aiming inside onto the bus. That's terrorism. Omnitrans is engaging in it, and every single last one of these third parties. That's the state. All right, that's terrorism. That's P.O.C. 8WRK200, 8WYU344, 7RNF591. Let's see, 6ARL744.
Best of all, Amazon has shifts and schedules that fit your life. Start your job search today at Amazon.com/apply. Amazon.
At what is Sierra Avenue and Orange Way at 10:41 a.m. at the Fontana Metrolink station. P.O.C. All right, 10:41 a.m. arriving at the city of Fontana. That's audible activity under the fake sun, by the way, and directed light appearing on the sidewalk while she closes the door of the bus after I departed. I want to get the license plate of this bus where I was subject to federal stalking. 1545862, bus number 2348, and this is a female. She's driving the bus. She does not park inside of the Metrolink train station plaza for the buses, by the way, stating that it's because another bus is parked there. Understand they're aware that they're being documented, and I just want to make sure I document every single tactic that they engage in. There is no tactic. The state's fake sun is directly over me where I just got off of the bus, and that is nowhere coinciding with being over Upland Public Library, as the state has engaged in day in and day out. I want to document the license plates of the Omnitrans that are monitoring. They're creating peculiarized light. 1302442. That is bus number, 2356. The state's fake sun is over my head while I'm in the city of Fontana. Driving a bus line, having it parked, is the creation of peculiarized light, while these are the demon-possessed actors having no form. All right, Omnitrans license plate 1302447, bus number 1323. All right, creating peculiarized light, and this is how Satan is hiding behind what you are otherwise assuming was form, and there is no form. The pattern of conduct is underway. I'm going to show you video of what is, because not only am I showing the state's fake sun, I was in the city of Fontana upon the criminal summoning by the Upland Public Library, and as I stood at the same exact corner at what is Nuevo and Orange, and the state's fake sun after 3 p.m. in the afternoon was directly over my head, and then I captured the demon-possessed stalkers that are the Fontana Police Department. And I want to show you at 10:43 a.m., which does not coexist at all with any location that I have documented the state's fake sun, but I mean, let's just pick one. How about the Upland Public Library, where I am maintaining presence right now, 24 hours ago, remaining in there, walking back and forth at 10:04, and I'm going at 11:04, and I'm showing you what's the state's fake sun. I remain there. All right, and the state's fake sun remains there as well. Not today. It's right over my head as I stand at this intersection. All right, and while the demon-possessed are using the buses, these are demons that know that they're being documented, I'm going to prosecute, because this is stalking with a fake sun. This is what the state is doing while it's monitoring. And that was Omnitrans engaging in federal stalking in violation of 18 U.S.C. 2261A. They are also engaging in terrorism as they are practicing demonic conduct to engage in that federal stalking. And this is the fake sun over my head at 10:44 a.m. at the same intersection where I captured it, where the state's fake sun was over the same location over my head in the middle of the afternoon, as I then went to the Fontana Library, the Fontana Lewis Library and Technology Center. This is P.O.C. All right, surrounding with peculiarized light, again, license 1545837, license 1545862, and Route 82. This is license plate. They're surrounding. These are demons, and they're stalking with peculiarized light all around, especially as I began speaking about the fact that I'm going to capture a video of what is the fake sun over my head. This is at 10:45 in the morning, as opposed to the after 3 p.m. where I'm arriving at that same corner, and the state's fake sun is over my head at the same exact Fontana train station. Bus number 1545682. That's the license plate. Bus number 2343. They're stalking with peculiarized light. All right, you don't have any place of belonging. You don't have any form. The state's pattern of conduct is underway, and you are engaging in that. And not only that, the directed light is on the bus. The state's fake sun is essentially on the bus as it remains in the window, and did so the entire route from 20 West Foothill Boulevard at the U.S. Bank to this location at the Fontana Metrolink train station. It's 10:47 a.m. That's what I just captured on video as a placement of the state's fake sun, and reminding you about the location, the time that I was at the same location well into the afternoon, and the state had its fake sun, and the Fontana Police Department engaged in exposing that they are demon possessed. All right, I want to get this demon. They make a U-turn in front of me at the Nuevo and Orange Way intersections. African-American female, 6EBS 821, just stopped in the middle of the street. All right, monitoring with Omnitrans. This is satanic conduct. All right, so you're getting past what the physical appearance of people are, because you're looking at, for example, people who appear to be strangers, but understand they're of one demonic entity. She is monitoring with Omnitrans, and she engages in making a U-turn in the middle of the street and stopping in the middle of the street, which is what she's doing right now, as I began using my video to document the presence of the state's fake sun over my head in the city of Fontana, and does so with real-time knowledge of what I'm saying as I am saying it. All right, license plate 84426C3. This is revealing satanic activity. These are psychopaths. Psychopaths. I'm going to prosecute for terrorism. And terrorists that are very, very, very violent sex offenders. License 7BWC159, 7PNR491, 1U63119, 5ZWL309, 8UMS784, 7WMK114, 6GSN461, that same demon, 6EBS821, 44603J1, P.O.C. It is currently 10:49 a.m. (7MBX061), and it is 10:53 a.m. License plate, directed light, molested my person, audible activity 18898E3, 18898E3, or any stalking with activity. And Omnitrans is stalking with peculiarized light 6YFH091. That's the reality of the demonic conduct that they're engaging in at their bus stop / train station under the fake sun. They're stalking with peculiarized light. 6H28748, and I'm going to prosecute Omnitrans for being a sex offender in that regard as well. It is currently 10:54 a.m. 7PYM512, 5ENR795, 8GGR462. (44986F2). And get this license plate over here. And again, this 44986F2, this is Synergy Companies, California license 835016, license plate 7BWB830. $10:55 a.m. 53815Z2, 8NAW330, 7HON808, BEST4DI, 8RNU831. And remember, this is the same entity. This is the same demonic entity and the same public entity that's driving past the vehicle at nightfall and molesting my body with directed light, creating that vehicle, using it as a sound case as the state amplifies audible activity. These are the same demons. 17017X2, 59032B3. They're one entity. It's one ongoing sexually violent threat to your life while the state is operating that system and engaging in the pattern of conduct inside of that vehicle. They're not separate. It's one actor. It's 10:55 a.m. And that is shown by the fact that the fake sun is over my head while they're crossing path. (6RDG120). 6470872, 85174Z1, 5NSZ082, 802, 7VYA976, LWPANDA, 7YOM998, 5TEN307, 5DBW435, 8GPN542, 8HQS005, 6PHS025, 7B46745, 6KRL080, 8PVH178, 87, oh, you can scratch that one, 8VSB020, 8MAJ541, 8SKL 300, 8BQE 797, 8WAM 324, 8LRO 903, 7SAS 519, 6JO 118. I can't really see that one that clearly though. 8PGT 624, JB Hart FLXN, 8WPB 423, 7UKR 786, excuse me. MSF 7409, that's Texas, 6YYL 090, 7BNT 529, 8RPT 884, 7NDU 017, 7RUC 232, 5XDU 433, 7TUR 563, 8SZV 805, 7WJU 094, 8CEZ 400, 8FRC 640, 8WMM 100, 24G 6053, that's a motorcycle, 8UKX 264, 7NLR 739, 4UWU 055. Um, 7WWX 592, 8KEB 500, 8SDP 261, 8LJA 278, 7PNM 844, 4AEN 956, 6XOC 759, that's Vertec, 4VLG 698, 8RDZ 990, 15288, 18, U.S. Postal Service 693, 0604, 8ESW 886, 8GML 082, 7LVE 556, 27610Z2. And I just want to point clear, I'm glad that the United States Postal Service is going out of its way to show that it is a demon-possessed actor representing the state. That speaks to the government, the condition of the government that's operating this system as well, by the way. And I just want to be clear, they went out of their way to engage in federal stalking again. This is the United States Postal Service. This is the state that was engaging in kidnapping with the Sheriff's Department and doing the same exact stalking conduct with knowledge of my presence on those vehicles of the San Bernardino Sheriff's Department, crossing path into the fake sun. That's what they're doing now, using their vehicles, repeatedly crossing path, in no way distracting from 8DBA 932 or third-party group stalker 7ZIT 917, 8CKB 832 or 372, excuse me. This is 7DCG 718. This is exactly what the United States Postal Service was doing then as well, engaging in federal stalking and as a kidnapper. So them going out of the way, understand that's exactly what they were doing, going out of their way, knowing exactly where I was at while I was kidnapped. License plate, 8FCV 709, 4AEN 956. And that goes for every third party. That's why you have directed light appearing inside of the vehicle that I'm sleeping in at night. That's why you have the state flying over like this is common sense. But I understand I'm prosecuted, so I'll point out the common sense aspect to you. This is why the state is flying in a circle over that vehicle that I'm sleeping in at night. This is why the state was doing the same thing while I'm sleeping at the Ontario Museum of History and Arts, while the fake moon was over that venue. During the day, the fake sun is over that venue, okay? That is indication of the very allegations in and of itself when you're establishing what the state is doing and the environment it's doing it in and who it's doing it with. And it's every single last one of them. They are demons. This is a demonic system, and these are demons that are very familiar with me. 8GHU 756. 7CVN 708. 665 37B3. 8KNP 807. 5LFJ321. And you're also, it goes without saying, the state's fake sun that remains over the Upland Public Library when I'm at the library in Upland. And what I captured as I went to Fontana, while the state's fake sun is here now, again, at a different time, over the same corner at 10:45 in the morning, and the state engaged in, remember, setting its fake sun in a perfect alignment with me while I'm inside of the Fontana Lewis Library and Technology Center, while I'm at Spring Street and Sierra, okay? But what you have right now, the state's fake sun is over the street of what is Sierra Avenue and Arrow, right over my head. And the state keeping its fake sun in alignment with that same venue. That's what the state is doing. That is not the sun. That's not, what kind of movement or migration is that anyway? It's not. Keeping it in alignment with Spring Street, let alone being over what is supposed to be the Upland Public Library. 8TTU215, 5RXT295, 7LVN761, 8TQS197, 8NMH830. It's 11:03 a.m. 8BPK235, 7ROR734, 8BNT085, 8CIG777. At the intersection of Sierra Avenue and Arrow Boulevard, and I'm going to show you what was the fake sun over my head in the city of Ontario at 11:04, where I'm standing in front of the entrance of Stater Brothers, where those sex offenders were monitoring, aiming directed light inside of that venue, and the state's fake sun is clearly over my head, while I'm facing what is south at that entrance of Stater Brothers inside of the Ontario Village Shopping Center. And then at the same time yesterday, 24 hours ago at 11:04, while I'm facing D Street, facing south inside of that venue of the Upland Public Library, state's fake sun is right over my head while I'm inside of that venue. It's 11:04 a.m. in the city of Fontana. This is P.O.C. Alrighty, license plate 8VPM171, 6TFA394. And I did capture what is both the fire department and the Fontana Police Department, 8LEU779, demonstrating their demon possession, which I don't need them to actually appear in the video. They're engaging in the elements of monitoring on video. That's all they're doing. But in doing so, you're speaking about the presence of the pattern of conduct where I am at, anywhere that I'm at. And this is why the state's fake sun is over my head at this time. 8AHY956, 11:04, 24 hours ago, where I'm facing D Street inside of the Upland Public Library. And that is clearly not the sun that's over my head right now at the intersection of Sierra Avenue and Arrow Boulevard, while the demon-possessed actor, that is the Fontana Police Department and the Fire Department, are stalking with the people of the state that are maintaining presence. This is a demonic entity maintaining presence under the fake sun. This is a demonic entity engaging in ongoing activity creation in the state's environment that they are contributing to as well. This is practicing of satanic conduct while they are engaging in federal stalking. 7LXW777, 7GKS753, 8XYA514, 8XDX797, 4HGB565, 87620Y2. State Farm, license plate SFPHIL3, coming out of what is the Fontana Civic Center, the Fontana Chamber. That's a state facilitating venue. They're engaging in federal stalking and utilizing this vehicle as well, license number 0E67745, driven by a Caucasian male. Caucasian female gets in the passenger side. Phil Cothran, PHIL Cothran, COTHRAN, federal stalking. And coming out of the Fontana Chamber of Commerce, a state facilitating venue located at 8491 Sierra Avenue. This is P.O.C. The state's fake sun is directly over me. That is the pattern of conduct underway in the city of Fontana, and what I'm showing is another direct contrast, irreducible direct evidence of stalking with a fake sun. That's demonic activity as it's practiced by a government that's engaging in federal stalking. 5MRF248, 7HON808, crossing path again. License 7FEL540, and it's P.O.C. TYN568, 6ZND170, 8AWD313, 8WYJ759, 8JTT476. Fake sun is right over my head while I'm identifying third party and state actors in the Fontana city of Fontana. It's 11:09 a.m. All right, I just wanted to show you what was directed light on the vehicles while I'm reciting their license plates, okay? This is indeed federal stalking, 8LZW328. The state's hallmark is present, directed light on their cars. That's the maintenance of light on surfaces. Not any ordinary light. That's the state's engineered light. 8WYJ759, because I didn't read that, 8LXL506, W559CO. And it goes without saying, what I'm showing you on the ground next to these cars, that's not sunlight. It's showing what is the orange radiant light on the ground while I am walking past their cars. That's the state's engineered light, 8LZW328. 6MRF155. 8KUL277. 8VOE441. And the demon-possessed engage in patrolling all around while they are together molesting with that which is not sunlight. It's directed light, 6DQK346. Those are sex offenders engaging in demonic activity. 6FSD620. 7RXC798. 8NXX265. 7GVD897. 6LHL046, 6YFT761. Understand every single last one of them are the same entity that likes to engage in touching me in the middle of the night while I'm in the car with directed light, and using that vehicle as a means of amplifying noise inside of that. That's terrorism. That's the infliction of harm while those demon-possessed stalkers engage in the pattern of conduct. Let me document this truck over here while the state is creating the sound of audible activity through the carport of the Fontana Library. That's audible activity. And this group stalker using the truck to maintain presence. All right, this is the practicing of terrorism by the people as they engage in coordinated demonic conduct. License plate 3644OJ2. Yeah, that's 3644OJ2. Using the sound of a car horn is audible activity under the fake sun. Understand that? And maintenance of presence using this truck sitting on the side of the street. That's for crossing a path as the demons are maintaining presence. Okay, creating noise under the fake sun. I just showed you what is the directed light that remains present, and doing so while you're stalking on the side of the street. 5VPY599. It's 11:12 a.m. License 8GFC 369, 8GCB 243, 5PUX 976, 7VPU 071, 7XUS 604, 7FFW 134, 6YNM 599, Stalking with Light 8JSL 528, 6WHS 710, 7STE 532, 8LGS 029, 8BDK 235, and that 8JSL 528 is pacing using a vehicle. That's a demon. That's a psychopath that is pacing and doing so by going forward and reversing and forward and reversing and forward and reversing with their vehicle under the fake sun. Okay? Recognize what is the psychopath as I'm showing you. They don't have any secrets and they don't have any form. 8BDK235, 7LUV670, 5GUB708, 7ZNB770. This is the same venue, by the way, where you saw my leg as I'm moving my leg up and down so you can see what is directed light, and I've got 3 shadows of my legs. These are the demon-possessed, and there is no form. They are sex offenders, and they are engaging in federal stalking. And that's exactly what I documented yet again. Fontana Lewis Library and Technology Center. It is 11:14 a.m. That's P.O.C. All right, I'm going to document ongoing federal stalking amongst the demon-possessed inside of the Fontana Lewis Library and Technology Center. What I'm capturing in images are maintenance of presence. And what you will see also on the cameras is a group stalker is standing in alignment with me at the computer. I'm sitting at FONPL02 desktop. As I access my Anchor podcast website, they're maintaining presence right there, standing in alignment with me while they're monitoring on the desktop computer. This is the demonic conduct of what is maintenance in the path, doing so with knowledge, with simultaneity to my activity on the internet, and doing so what is directed light as they're walking around inside of here. They're magnified size of shadows appearing on the wall. That's light activity creation. The fake sun is over the library. And I also picture what is the security guard, the African-American male. He's stalking in the path as I begin using, that is changing application use on my phone. And the lights inside of this area turn on. That's called creation of light activity. That's also demonic, right? While this demon is stalking in the path. And that's what I'm capturing in images as they are monitoring, trying to block access from my Anchor podcast to the WordPress .com website. This is the same exact pattern of conduct. I'm documenting it ongoing inside of the Fontana Lewis Library and Technology Center. It's 12:11 p.m. That is P.O.C. This is terrorism as I'm documenting it amongst the demon possessed, okay? It's 12:11. All right, it is 4:32 p.m. and I have exited the venue of the Fontana Lewis Library and Technology Center, where I am showing what is the remaining presence of the state's fake sun, because that is clearly not the sun, arriving, I think a little after 11 a.m. And I am showing what is the state's remaining presence after 4 p.m. over the same building of the Fontana Lewis Library. And again, of course, this is supposed to coexist with being directly over D Street, as I am inside of the Upland Public Library where the state keeps its fake sun. All right, so these are demons engaging in blatant terrorism. 23868G3, 23868G3. And they're all monitoring with the Fontana Police Department, okay? I want to be clear of that. They are maintaining presence, and the state is maintaining light. And these are demons sitting around in their cars, sitting outside around the Miller Amphitheater, sitting outside the entrance of the library. This is the maintenance of presence, and that is all that it is, where the state is stalking with a light source, okay? This is what I mean by there is no form. The presence of the Fontana Police Department near the Fontana Lewis Library is direct evidence of a state system where there is no form. It is the ongoing revealing of what is demon possession by that police department. Okay? That's what that shows. The actual sun nor the fake sun resides over, is ever placed over the Ontario Police Department, based on what my documentation reveals as well. The state's keeping its fake sun directly over me as I go from Ontario to the city of Fontana. 8FWG044. Never would it be over 2500 South Archibald Avenue, as I captured it clearly over my head while I'm at that address. That is because the Ontario Police Department is engaging in federal stalking and terrorism, and that's what was underway as I was at that venue. And not only is that a facilitating venue where the fake sun is over that location while I am there, the Ontario Police Department are the same demon-possessed agency maintaining stalking presence in concert with the people of the state, as I have documented. 6YMX047. So I'm documenting terrorism and federal stalking amongst the demon-possessed under the fake sun in the city of Fontana. 8LGC540, 7MMV037, 8VPW199, 6WKF839, 8PNJ377, 34388Y1, 5GUB708, 7KMH328, 8WWL318, 8ANW601, 8RFE957, handicap BA552, 7EMP013, 5PLC 509, 7FFW134, 7VQU765, 5WRC 993, 6KQA 559, 8TQR563, 7TUR616, 8HER150, 6DAU 686, 5XBH 682, 6LHS 764. Crossing path under the fake sun, which is over the same parking lot of the Fontana Library. Oh, with no license plate on the back of that white Impala, driven by an African American, it looks like. It's P.O.C. You think these demons don't know they're being documented? I've already established that. Yeah, they are. And that's not evading any sort of prosecution by the entity. That's going toward what is obstruction of justice, and that is showing the psychopath. That's a sex offender that engages in kidnapping, that knows very well that you're documenting it, that goes for the creation of policy. As you see the threat that psychopaths pose, stalkers that are possessed with the spirit of Satan, acting as the government, acting as the people of the state, and that criminal system underway. That's what I'm revealing. Right? Let me show you what is the presence of the state's fake sun. And as I stated, literally has gone nowhere. And as I move from that entrance of the Fontana Lewis Library, you're looking at what is the state's fake sun, very far from where it maintains a presence as I'm inside of that Fontana Lewis Library. Remember, near exit time, or closing time of that Lewis Library, the state kept its fake sun in alignment with me at Spring Street. And so as I am exiting before that time, the state is keeping its fake sun in alignment with me. So this is recognizing the pattern of conduct of stalking with light, the practicing of what is terrorism. And the state is moving from that location, never possible to be remaining and being seen in alignment with Spring Street through the window of that Fontana Lewis Library, because I am moving from that location. And not only that, the state is placing its fake sun over the same location where I was walking over through the state facilitating venue of the parking lot of the Fontana Chamber of Commerce. This is where the state's fake sun was before as I arrived, and now it's in front of me over my head at that same parking lot, moving from the entrance. In other words, I would not be able to capture it over the entrance of the Fontana Lewis Library if this was the actual position. This is the state moving it in real time, just like you see through the window of any vehicle I'm inside of, including Omnitrans yet again today. That is necessary movement. As you literally look at a map of the Omnitrans bus route for Route 66, that's where the state moved its fake sun, street to street to street, in the window of the bus that I remained on. All right, and then remained over the Fontana Lewis Library. That is the terrorism by a demon-possessed actor. That is the state of California. And acting in concert with the people of the state is 4:38 p.m. And I'm going to continue to document. Oh, here we go. The John B. Roberts Fire Station, crossing path into the fake sun. MS71 is the vehicle they are using to use lights, using their brake lights, the lights on that vehicle to enter their train station. Not their train station, excuse me, their fire station. That is called crossing a path. That is called light activity creation. And that is called being in relevant position and doing so with knowledge of the documentation. That's the psychopath, and that's a state actor engaging in the pattern of conduct. And they're monitoring with the Fontana police, who are monitoring as well in concert with the people of the state. Under that, which is not the sun, which is over Sierra Avenue, while directed light is hitting the building of, that looks like 9442 on Sierra Avenue, which is a surface in front of me while I'm standing at this street at where the, this is at Library and Learner, okay? This building with the address 9442 at Sierra Avenue is a surface, okay? That's what the state is aiming directed light at the top of that building for. It's demonic activity they're monitoring on Sierra Avenue, okay? That is surrounding the perimeter. The fire department monitoring with that. That's why there's directed light appearing over there at the distance. That is why the state is flying over by commercial airline planes as well. That's why the fake sun is now over the parking lot and no longer over me where I stood at the entrance of the Fontana Lewis Library and Technology Center. It's 4:39 p.m. and there is no question about what I'm documenting. And I'm going to go ahead and continue doing that. It is 4:40 p.m. 8 SUT 741, 8 BZM 289, 7 FMZ 757, and understand the Fontana Police crossing path right now, and the Fontana Chamber of Commerce, that's nothing but a state facilitating venue. It's a venue where the fake sun is present, where, in other words, federal stalking is underway. It's a state system. That's why the fake sun is here, not over the Upland Public Library, directly over D Street as I aim my camera up at that location while I'm there. It's not both over me in the parking lot of the Fontana Chamber of Commerce and over the entrance of the Fontana Lewis Library and remaining over D Street as I am inside of the Upland Public Library, let alone Lemon and C Street in the city of Ontario at the Ontario Over the Family Community Library, all of which are addresses where the state is keeping its fake sun for the duration of the whole day while I'm at that venue and then following to and from that venue. All right, City of Fontana Human Resources, located at 8491 Sierra Avenue. This is what I'm looking at right now. Yeah, it says Fontana Civic Center, Human Resources. This is P.O.C. I am walking at Sierra Avenue and Arrow Boulevard. Directed light on the storefronts while demons are patrolling in traffic. 8CNU097 142YA handicap. 7BCH 915 8UJH 082. And now understand what this is, big picture, when you're understanding what the state is doing. This is the same satanic entity following as I go back to where I came from this morning. It's the same entity. That's why you have the maintaining environment. That's why you are maintaining the environment. And that's how you are maintaining presence. It's the same public entity and the same satanic entity. This is federal stalking by the demon possessed, including the Fontana Police Department with license 8PNK114 Fontana PD, license 1559482. Shadow of the vehicle in front of that car, that's demon possession by Fontana PD. 7TYG221. All All right, it is currently 4:42 p.m. Let me show you something. All right, license plate 8YFZ840, capturing what is the state's fake sun over the exact same intersection of Sierra Avenue and Arrow Boulevard. RNDC California 6805, license 13872C3, using that vehicle as for federal stalking and terrorism. 8JMG 605. Fontana police crossing path, as I recited on the podcast, and then I captured a video of what is the fake sun directly over the intersection, where Fontana PD are engaging in what is the outward demonstration of demon possession, as they are engaging in terrorism with the people of the state. It's also criminal facilitation of federal stalking. That's what the Fontana Police Department are engaging in. All right, it is currently 4:44 p.m. and the state's fake sun is remaining over now. Sorry, not remaining over. Well, it's remaining over while I'm standing here, but it is back at the same intersection where I captured it at 11 o'clock, approximately 11 o'clock this morning, 7ALN 452. As demons cross path under the fake sun, it's called light activity. Right? They do so with what is also directed light. They are all in directed light. The state is magnifying the size of their vehicles. That's how you swipe with light activity. That's how you're another method of touching by the demon-possessed stalker. 8EOD 164 times thousands, times thousands, times thousands, because it's the people of the state. All right? License plate 6KSPGKS 7KQF698. Omnitrans crossing path, bus number 1315. It's 8PGA100. 13243A1. 5XXH 803. It's 4:45 p.m. 8RVT092. You already know that that's P.O.C. I'm under the fake sun. 1766882. And that is why it is also a hallmark. The state is engaging in P.O.C. This is what I've been documenting for years. You hear the sirens. That's called audible activity in the environment. 7ZMF 558. That's demonic activity by the state. That's criminal facilitation. That's how you're going to prosecute that. That's also what is terrorism. It is 6JXL924. License plate 6ZJC999252 IWM. That's Colorado. 7UVS 632. 7FFH110. 8THC 831. Directed light in front of that car. The fake sun is above the building in front of that car, and in front of the vehicle, lines, tall lines of directed light, and moving all over the storefront. This is terrorism by 8THC 831, acting on behalf of the entity. And I believe monitoring, engaging in terrorism and sexual violence with minor children. This is a Latina female, and if she is not an original American citizen, she is to be deported. That's how that goes. P.O.C. I did go on ahead and take a little small video so you can see the image of the ordinary demon-possessed group stalker doing what they're all doing, molesting with that which is not sunlight. 6K15220, 4MIG427, 8LJA278, 8KVY229, 8PAY675, 7NLR739. 6EZK or 6EZX593. That's a commercial vehicle, as in a security vehicle. Like they're doing security, they're engaging in federal stalking while they're driving a security vehicle. And if they are carrying a firearm, that's engaging in federal stalking on behalf of a government, posing an impermissible threat while you're bearing arms. 8GZK790, 5YHM295, 7XAB 824. CW1332, I believe. I think that's Arizona plate. 7X, yeah, I read that one already. It's 4:48 p.m. Now, what you're looking at is the state keeping its fake sun, its light source, directly over me as I leave that venue of the Fontana Lewis Library, after having already departed from its pattern of remaining over the Upland Public Library, and it is departing from its documented act of keeping its fake sun in alignment with me inside of the Upland Library, as though the sun is setting in alignment to Spring Street as I stand outside of that window. That's not possible, as the state is keeping its fake sun in alignment with me while I'm walking at Sierra Avenue, 2338 7J2 6WLN 619. And that's what's required when you're showing what is stalking with a light source. Who is the leader? I am the leader. Demons follow and they lose. License plate 8B49087. So here's the state's fake sun at Sierra Avenue in Valencia. All right, I did capture video of what is USPS crossing path 9209850. That's not what I captured video of, but I just want to make sure I recite that because as I'm punctuating the point and how the government is going to be prosecuted in many ways. The fake sun is over Valencia and Sierra Avenue right now, and this is literally impossible to compare or be present over any of the documented venues. This is literally the state following me as I go down the street. Nowhere near being over the Fontana Lewis Library or capable of being in alignment with the library after 5:30 p.m. I think I captured it around 5:45 p.m. inside of the Fontana Lewis Library. Let me get Satan and license plate 5XAX849 P.O.C. You have what is the state's fake sun departing from that conduct of setting in alignment with me. And understand the only reason why I caught it at that location in alignment with me at Spring Street, and you saw it's in perfect alignment with me while I'm standing inside of the Fontana Lewis Library and Technology Center, that's because I was standing there. As I move anywhere, this is what I'm showing you, the state's fake sun moves in alignment with me. Okay? Moves anywhere I move. All right? And you saw that was clearly the state's fake sun acting as though sunlight is shooting horizontally through the building, as though the sun setting creates shooting light horizontally through that and moving upward and downward. You also saw the magnified size of my shadow on the floor. Pay attention to the details. That was not the sun setting, and that wasn't even sunlight that shoots horizontally through a window. Okay, that's the same pattern of conduct, and that's a demon license plate 8VIX459. That's an act of terrorism. That's how demons engage in federal stalking and criminal facilitation. That psychopath's going to be prosecuted, and if they're not an American citizen, they're out of here. That's an act of terrorism. That's how they engage in malicious conduct, just systematically. 7NMZ924. They're monitoring with Metrolink. That's what's going on right now. Metrolink is monitoring. 8F25777, 8YJJ140. 8098171Z1, 24231J2, 8GCC, 8GCC447, 7ZT. I got that one already. License plate 7YNX763. I'll see you later, Satan. License 8CKX191, 8PDU467, 8MLM035. 5VWR794, 8JEY333, 6VXV, I can't really see that one, 8HNS619, 56428F2, 8CBR593, 7UBP564, 8LGC540, 8RUM824. And I want to point something else out to you. It's currently 4:54 p.m. Metrolink creating audible activity. Metrolink train also calls for what is light activity. All right, and let me also, that demon that I'm documenting that revved their engine real loud, that's amplified audible activity. But let me also speak to what's going on. While I'm walking on the sidewalk and I'm covered by shade, you have what is the supplementing the absence of the fake sun directly over me, or directed light right over me. This is why you have what is the use of Metrolink train at that moment. Understand that. This is why you have the use of that demon-possessed stalker revving their engine. It's amplified audible activity. This is analogous to what you see where the state flies over my head as I'm entering a venue, for example, on what is supposedly cloudy days. That's what the state is doing. It is supplementing for the absence of the fake sun over my head. Audible activity, okay? Light activity always remains, all right? But where the absence of the fake sun, or I'm being touched or surrounded by surfaces, Fontana 1591573, you have what is supplementing for the absence of that direct light, and that is with the audible activity. And that's what the state also does with plane and helicopter, okay? That's what that was, and that's Metrolink engaging in criminal facilitation. They're going westbound, and that's P.O.C. That is P.O.C. It is currently 4:55 p.m. Let me show you the state's fake sun at Orange Way in Sierra while Metrolink is engaging in federal stalking. A train schedule is no form. This is the pattern of conduct, and Metrolink is engaging in terrorism and is a sex offender. My entire body is being molested with directed light, not sunlight, under that which is not the sun. And Metrolink is intentionally supplementing for the absence of directed light while I'm walking in the shade, monitoring with the people, using its train as a means of federal stalking, engaging in the state's elements, okay? That's Omnitrans, 8TAF929, 7CTD471. All right, let me show you the fake sun over the Metrolink Fontana train station, excuse me. It's 4:56 p.m. All right, I captured video. You're looking at demonic activity as it is underway by Omnitrans and the people of the state under the fake sun, and that is also including Metrolink, okay? I want to be clear, the presence of the fake sun, just like I'm pointing out in video, this demon-possessed stalker, whether or not they speak English, playing bad taste in music, it's called audible activity. And if they're not an American citizen, they're to be shipped up out of here, where they belong, away, out of here, 34476L2. Engaging in the most un-American conduct that they can engage in, monitoring an American citizen, and acting with FedEx as well, 98031G1. It is, the video that I'm capturing is the presence of the state's fake sun over the same corner that I stood at this morning as I departed that bus at 10:44 a.m. Okay, it's 4:58 p.m. I captured that video about a couple minutes ago. You're looking at the state's fake sun after being over the entrance. That's very, very specific in its position to where I'm at, over the entrance of the Fontana Lewis Library and Technology Center. Okay, that's after that, and then it with no hope of any sort of form. This is bare bones demonic conduct and federal stalking. All right, this is stripping Satan, in other words, the government that is engaging in satanic activity, the people that are engaging in satanic group conduct, demons, they act as packs. This is what the state of California is doing, stripping them of every form. They don't have any form. They're under that which is not the sun. And the sun, the fake sun, just left the entrance of the Fontana Lewis Library and Technology Center and remained over me as I walked back down the street on Sierra Avenue and has placed itself over the same corner where I stood at 10:44 a.m. All right, in no way to be seen in alignment with Spring Street, touching with directed light 5GGT060, a sex offender. License plate, JF Shea, license number 76998. The license plate of that vehicle, 7W372F1. It is currently 4:59 p.m. and I captured that on video, so take a good gander at that. It's the same thing that I've been documenting, that I've been explaining. And there is a very vivid illustration drawn for one that observes the video documentation of what is the state's fake sun, both not just today, but yesterday and the day before yesterday. Remember, the day before yesterday, I'm documenting what is the state's fake sun while I am remaining at what is 630 North Fern Avenue at 10:04, at 10:07, while the state is molesting my person with directed light. The fake sun is over the vehicle, the windshield is very specific, okay? Just like being directly over the entrance of the Fontana Lewis Library, it's very specific. Just like being over the D Street facing window of the Upland Public Library, it's very, very specific to where I am. And at these places at the same time, all right? And then I go to the city of Chino, and this is at 11:36 a.m., and this is why I'm showing you yesterday at 11:36 a.m. while I'm facing D Street inside of the Upland Public Library. That is impossible to coexist. That's clearly not the sun in the same position that I'm capturing. So I go out to Chino to show you what's not the sun while I'm inside of the Upper Public Library at 11:36 a.m. Okay? Omnitrans monitoring 1479380. That's audible activity, directed light in front of that bus. And as I showed you in the video, there's shadow casting in front of that bus to the driver's side, directed light in front of that bus casting to the passenger side. Okay? That's P.O.C. That's demonic activity as it is engaged in by the commercial actor Omnitrans. That's terrorism. And so you're looking at what is today at 11:36 a.m. in the city of Fontana, and the state's got its fake sun directly over the Fontana Lewis Library. And this is maintaining that same visible presence in its zenith. All right, and that's verbiage that you use for the actual sun. This is not the actual sun. That's maintaining that central location above my head and remaining for the duration of a day at a particular address as I'm documenting it. That's P.O.C. All right, and it is currently 5:01 p.m. That's Metrolink engaging in audible activity creation, Omnitrans engaging in light activity creation, Omnitrans engaging in crossing a path. They are actually patrolling, and they're also stalking with peculiarized light while they turn on their flashers. They are under the fake sun at the Metrolink train station. I'm going to go ahead and capture video of that. It's 5:02 p.m. So I just want to document, I got video of what is harassment by entity while Satan is hostile to being documented. And I want to be clear, the commercial vehicles, the brand you see in relevant position, license 1370395 is monitoring with that demon that's uttering that audible activity in the fake sun. And I want to be clear, also, you're looking at what is paying very close attention to me while I am capturing a video of what would be none of his concern. That is Satan acting in the natural. That's Metrolink under the fake sun, monitoring with this demon in vehicle license plate number 8XDE432, stalking in the path, getting in front of the bus, which would also be seen on the cameras of Metrolink, which I'm referencing, license plate 1302445. That's P.O.C. And I want to be clear, this is minutes later as I am at what is, that's amplification. as I am at what is the Fontana Metrolink train station. This is just minutes ago. The first Metrolink was going what was westbound. This one is going eastbound, as I showed you in the video. And you're witnessing what is demonic hostility. You are looking at different faces, the same demonic entity. And you are looking at also and witnessing what is the focus on what I am saying and what I am doing as I'm doing it. All right, that is the demonic activity 8UIL113. That's P.O.C. All right, and that is Satan focused on me and engaging in what is ongoing monitoring. That's what you're paying attention to. Monitoring is underway, and I also want to show what is Satan focused on me. Okay, while I am not paying any attention, I'm capturing what is Metrolink, engaging in criminal facilitation and audible activity creation under the fake sun at the Metrolink train station. Understand that that demon is speaking on behalf of the entire entity. This is the essence of demonic activity as I'm revealing it to you, as it is underway in the state of California, where the demon possessed are all monitoring to that harassing audible activity under the fake sun. That's what you're going to look at. While that demon is focused on me, look at what is not the sun that's directly over his head. Right? While the demon is focused on me creating audible activity, harassing in concert with Omnitrans, with Metrolink, with the people of the state who are surrounding, okay? Because that is intense hostility as to what I am revealing, all right? And you have what is that harassment by entity. That's how that's prosecuted. That's a pattern of conduct, all right? This is why you have what is criminal summoning. This is why you have what is harassment by entity at the Upland Public Library, as they are fearful of what I am publishing, okay? And the demonic entity has no response other than to engage in nonsense and showing that they are indeed focused on me. Nothing that I am saying is any of concern of his. And you have what is focusing my camera in the distance, and you have what is interceding and engaging in immediate name calling and engaging in trying to interject themselves, but which don't be distracted by that, because it's audible activity and it's through the form of what is harassment. While Satan himself acting through that demon-possessed stalker who is monitoring under the fake sun, I'm going to prosecute Metrolink for that. That's direct evidence. While Metrolink is sitting right there under the fake sun, that he might as well have Metrolink stamped on his forehead, because I'm gonna prosecute Metrolink for that. You understand? That's how that goes. They're one entity acting together. Okay, that's P.O.C. And then the license plate of the black vehicle is started with 8XDE. They're stalking in the path. They're sitting in the front of the Omnitrans bus. They're maintaining presence. And then Metrolink sounds its train, which is amplified audible activity, while that group stalker is maintaining presence in front of the Omnitrans bus. All right, that's P.O.C. And that's moment by moment pattern of conduct ceaselessly underway. It's not stopping. I'm breaking it down. First of all, what is the demonic conduct, and also how the elements are ongoing. This is demonic activity, as I have already shown, how Omnitrans is a commercial actor, and you are seeing how they express hostility. All right, this is the demonic behavioral pattern, and it is being applied to the specific actor, which happens to be one associated with a brand. It is the same demonic possession. Okay, and the same federal stalking. This is P.O.C. It's 5:07 p.m. And it is at the Fontana Metrolink train station. Metrolink and Omnitrans engaging in P.O.C. And engaging in what is criminal harassment by entity. That's what that's documented as. The impermissible threat of the demon-possessed engaging in terrorism while they are hostile to what they're monitoring, which is your documentation. Okay, it's 5:07 p.m. P.O.C. Fontana Police crossing path going crossing path at Sierra and Orange Way. That's P.O.C. All right, I want to get Omnitrans creating light activity, touching through directed light, 1500428, bus number 1286. License 5ULX825, 1579509, I believe. That is the Omnitrans bus that is crossing path and touching in directed light. It's 5:09 p.m., and I'm at Orange and Nuevo in Fontana at the Metrolink train station. And this is patrolling by the demon possessed under the fake sun, ZUBF 645. Directed light streaming in front of their vehicles while the fake sun is behind their vehicles. It's the same exact relevant positioning. License plate. See, 8LTN603, 5YSR188, 6SWW006. All right, and maintaining presence over the Fontana Metrolink train station is impossible to coexist with remaining over the documented presence over D Street, where the state keeps its fake sun, as I remain inside of the Upland Public Library. That is why Satan just engaged in the revealing of a great hostility and frustration with my video documentation and my podcast revealing what Omnitrans is engaging in, and doing it in concert and on behalf of the government, in concert with the people of the state. These are demons that you're dealing with. These are psychopaths, and you hear that and you witness that as you see that psychopath engaging and attacking with speech, representing the government under that which is not the sun. That's a impermissible threat. 7M63580. It is, in other words, the inability to intelligently address what is direct evidence of federal stalking amongst the demon-possessed. And let me get, this is a commercial vehicle. The state is hovering in relevant position under the fake sun at 5:11 p.m. All right, Omnitrans engaging in harassment by entity via third-party group stalker who gets on bus route 61, license plate 1302445. It's a Latino male wearing black hoodie and a black cap. Understand that this is just one that is creating audible activity, and Omnitrans, again, is just a means of identifying an actor. This is demonic at its core. So you have what is creation of audible activity. Federal stalking is underway in that environment that is entirely unnatural. This is telling as to the substance of what is being documented, federal stalking, and it is also revealing the condition of every single last person, demon possession, and you have what is revealing the revealing of what is absolute frustration and hostility as I'm documenting actors by the name of what is Metrolink, which is just a means of identifying who is engaging in the state's criminal elements, which are demonic as they are doing so. So this third party is speaking on behalf of Omnitrans and Metrolink because they're all monitoring together. I just want to be clear. And this is demonic at its core. This is how, for example, a commercial actor, a bus driver is not going to get off the bus and voice their hostility in that regard, not without being clearly shown to be, So you have what is the vicarious communication of such hostility by a third party. Omnitrans and that group stalker are both third parties. All right, that's how you're prosecuting it. But also you're talking about what is demonic activity, and you're speaking of what is one demonic entity speaking through one person. And I want to be clear, Omnitrans is Omnitrans and Metrolink, because I'm identifying them. But this is essentially the entirety of the entity, and that's what I'm capturing in that video. You have absolute concern for what I am saying, as I am not regarding this third-party group stalker. I'm capturing the environment, and you have what is absolute concern for what I'm saying, all right? This is pursuant to the ongoing pattern of what is harassment and its hostility to documentation, and it is the demonic behavioral pattern, okay? But I also want to provide context. This is how demons, as I have been subject to it, this is how they communicate hostility on behalf of another. So as I am revealing what is demonic terrorism by Omnitrans, understand that that demon-possessed third party is communicating hostility on behalf of that commercial actor, Omnitrans, and that state actor, Metrolink, who are engaging in that. They are holding hands with that group stalker. It's one and the same. Let me just be clear, because this is how Satan is operating. So you'll have another one that steps in, and don't be deceived by that. They're not separate. But I also want to be clear, this is how the cowards conduct themselves. So you have what's supposed to be a stranger. It's not a stranger. It's the same demonic entity, right? They are third parties, one and the same, first of all. They're engaging in the expression of hostility while essentially admitting that you are very concerned and know exactly what I'm talking about, and engages in the desperate act of you're not distracting anything. You're showing that you are focused on me, just like I'm showing the pattern of conduct is underway. That's exactly what I documented, and it's hostility. That's how you're prosecuting that. The one that's engaging in federal stalking, which is terrorism, that is a sex offender, that is the kidnapper, engages in harassment as you document and seek to prosecute. That is going toward what is dictating policy. All right, how you're going to pin down and restrain that psychopath. That's what that's going toward. And you are literally hearing the harassing verbiage of Satan himself acting through a person who you're looking at with your eyes. All right, it's P.O.C. It's 5:20 p.m. State's fake sun remains over the Metrolink train station, and it is 5:20, I believe. In case I make sure I say the right time, it's 5:20 p.m. and the state's fake sun remains over the Fontana Metrolink train station. P.O.C. All right, let me break down the pattern of conduct as it was underway while I'm giving you context as to the demonic hostility that I encountered. As I am speaking, what you hear in the background is a third party. This is assumed to be a third party engine revving. It's called audible activity, all right, that the state is amplifying. And while the third party driver of Omnitrans, this is a female, she gets off the bus, she's crossing path while the state is amplifying that audible activity. That's the pattern of conduct underway, right? And she crosses path while the state is creating that audible activity. She's engaging in the pattern of conduct while I'm documenting that information. I just want to be clear, federal stalking is underway, and this is ceaseless monitoring and light activity by the bus with the hazard lights on. All right, that is the female. She's got shoulder length black hair. She's She appears to be a Latina, and she's engaging in federal stalking as I'm reciting hostility. It's 5:21 p.m. That's Metrolink at 5:24 p.m. going what is eastbound at the Fontana train station. All right, that's called audible activity. That's called audible activity. And they are on the surveillance cameras engaging in what is relevant positioning and light activity creation. 1234517, bus number 1221. And just like I showed in video, the state's fake sun is in alignment with me where I sit on this bus at the Fontana Metrolink train station. Bus number 2357, capture the driver. She's engaging in federal stalking. Literally, as you look at her, she's studying her communication device. The fake sun is in alignment with me. She's monitoring. And she was also doing the same while you heard the revving engine. All right, it is 5:26 p.m.
Favor usar la puerta trasera.
5ZIZ644. 6YYB214. And 8WIG584. State's fake sun in alignment with me where I sit on the bus going westbound on the Omnitrans bus. 5TXC381. It's 5:27 p.m. That's called crossing a path and light activity creation as they get on and off the bus. Valencia and Jennifer. All right, let me show you the fake sun keeping in pace with me. It's 5:27 p.m. All right, I did capture video so that you can see what is the state keeping its fake sun in alignment with me as I'm now traveling what would be north after having traveled south away from the Fontana Library. What the state is doing as it's keeping in alignment with me going back up Jennifer, the state is going in the opposite direction that it went as I left the Fontana Lewis Library to get to the Metrolink train station. That is 8MNZ 283. I can't really see that one. That is what the state is doing. First of all, it's clearly not the sun because it's in alignment with me and it's supposed to be over D Street in Upland, 8LPR 216. And you also have what is the maintenance. It's also supposed to be at the same time setting in alignment with the Spring Street and Sierra Avenue intersection, standing perfectly inside with the window at the Fontana Lewis Library and Technology Center. That's impossible to coexist because I'm moving up Jennifer Avenue and the state is keeping its fake sun in the window in perfect alignment with me, going back up the opposite direction of the street, the direction that I just coming from the Fontana Lewis Library and Technology Center. It's 5:29 p.m. That is demonic activity. All right, that's federal stalking 7WWF 716-506-37Y1. And every single documented actor to be prosecuted for that harassing audible activity while the demon-possessed are hostile to my exposing the fact that they are psychopaths and they're stalkers. And that's what the state of California is engaging in. And that is the tendency by demons to react in such way. That's exactly what criminal summoning is about. That's exactly what engaging in the harassment is about. Just like I documented at Starbucks. Those are demons that are hostile to being documented, all right? And it's the same demonic entity speaking, with which I will prosecute the entirety of that entity for that audible activity as I document it, venue to venue. Omnitrans is a venue, the train station is a venue, it's 5:30 p.m. and that was P.O.C. and this continues to be P.O.C. 09726C2, and that is, by the way, the tendency to show the fact that Satan himself is no formidable adversary, and this is literally trampling him in hostility to the fact that all of his secrets are being told to the world, because that's what I'm going to do, and then I'm going to prosecute. 8XAY385, and showing companies like Omnitrans what they engage in while they're trying to make a buck. It's despicable. 056RT, because this is terrorism, and that's how they also treat one who is documenting and prosecuting. They engage in harassment. 32117H3. That's how demons behave, okay? That's exactly how demons behave. Going down what is now Foothill Boulevard, traveling west on Foothill Boulevard. Again, this is bus number 2357, and it is 5:31 p.m. The state's fake sun is in alignment with the front windshield of the bus. That is keeping directed light. That's not the sun, and that's not sunlight. That's the state's light activity. This is P.O.C.
Stop requested. If possible, please use rear views.
Posible. Favor usar la puerta
Passing
trasera.
Sand and Sage Motel. License plate 8629Y1. Substantially similar. That's a red Toyota. That's light activity, just like I showed you this morning as they open and shut the door. Light activity as they open and shut the door in the state's fake sun over the same vehicle that I'm inside of. All right, all the state does is move to a different side of the same vehicle, remaining in alignment with me. The fact that it's over the same street is evidence of stalking with light. There is no getting out of the pattern of conduct, and this is the asininity that the entity engages in, that which is clearly demonstrable as stalking with a fake sun when you pay attention. But all the state does is move around to a different angle, keeping light on the same position. 16192, that's Starbucks on Foothill Boulevard, monitoring this entire plaza. 8FOB 546, 8Y5, sorry, 8Y, trying to move away from the license plate, 8Y54116. I want to be clear, while I'm on the bus, the cameras on the bus are a means of documentation. That is another means of documenting, aside from what I am unilaterally publishing for prosecution. Everywhere that I am, not just the Omnitrans bus, is a means of surveillance of the state that's engaging in federal stalking, okay? And this is documentation while the entity documents itself engaging in federal stalking. 2357, this is the bus number, okay? It has surveillance cameras inside and outside. And as I say that, touching me with directed light. All right, you saw that driver's face. She's engaging in federal stalking. She's a sex offender representing Omnitrans, touching my body with that which is not sunlight. At 5:33 p.m., driver number, I think I said 3669. This is Baker's, located at 16062 on Foothill Boulevard. And it's not just her. They're all sex offenders that you're looking at on camera on the bus. It's 5:34 p.m. At what is, I'm gonna say, what street is this? Tokay, T-O-K-A-Y, Tokay Avenue and Foothill Boulevard at 5:34 p.m. 8 ETB 928. Takai. I don't know how you pronounce that. Five NVW 822. Let's see. 8 EZC 175. YWJ 715, I believe. It's 5:35 p.m. 88JU 640. The state's fake sun is directly in front of the bus. License plates. Let's see. Bus stop 7103. That's directed light as they open the door and shut it. That's crossing a path as they get on the bus, and that's touching. All of them together. This is a gigantic orgy that Omnitrans is engaging in and facilitating sexual violence. It's 5:37 p.m. And this is what the state does while inside of the car parked overnight, repeatedly molesting with that which is not naturally occurring light, directed light. This is the sex offender. All right? Yeah, employee 3669, that's what it says. They have engaged in not posting that information and posting that which is not truthful, but I'm going to document. That's what the display says, that this female driver who's engaging in sexual violence as federal stalking and criminal facilitation while engaging in terrorism on behalf of Omnitrans, representing the people of the state, is engaging in P.O.C. identified as driver number 3669. It's 5:38 p.m. License 8JFR 104. Omnitrans in relevant position, the eastbound. License 20039F3. It's 5:38 p.m. All right, it's 5:39 p.m. Capturing what is the presence of the fake sun while I am at what is Arco at the Foothill and I want to say Cherry. Yeah, Foothill and Cherry. It is currently 5:39 p.m. Alrighty, touching, directed light, and these heavy-set Latino males get on the bus. Ugh. Imagine cockroach after cockroach after cockroach after cockroach touching. That's Satan laughing, and understand that's what you're going to prosecute for, an unprecedented level of sexual violence. And ain't nothing going to be funny about that. It's bus number 2357, it's P.O.C. 5:39 p.m. This is what the state does as group stalkers drive by the vehicle that I'm parked inside of as well. Every single last one, and every time they drive by, the state is molesting with directed light. This is the pattern of conduct, and this is how you're understanding sexual violence by government. This is Omnitrans as a sex offender. This is exactly how you're going to prosecute any company engaging in the state's P.O.C. It's 5:40 p.m. 8GIR L49. Can't really see that whole license plate though. Passing Banana and Foothill Boulevard. License 7BNJ599. License plate 98L. Oh, I can't see that one. At the Heritage Housing Subdivision. Heritage is at the intersection of Foothill and, well, it's a large housing subdivision, but I just want to speak to where I'm at right now. And this is the, again, pay attention to big picture. The state's fixed sign is over the same street that it was over this morning while I took the same Route 66 to get to the city of Fontana. And this is the state that is supposing that that their actual sun remains over the same street all day. But actually, it's not all day. It goes to the Fontana Library, the Fontana Lewis Library, and then goes back down toward the Metrolink, and then gets back on the Route 66 to remain in alignment with me, which is the opposite of coincidence. State keeps its fake sun over me in the city of Ontario at 630 North Fern Avenue as well. It's called Stalking with Light. 98497W2 is stalking me in concert with the state that is keeping its fake sun over me while they are crossing path in that environment. 13857A3. It's 5:42 p.m. 6ZKK073. License plate 8PAL242. SVC 569. I'm sorry, 8SVC 593. K87566, 8BYY125. S1. FR9345A. This is a different looking colorful license plate on a Ford F-150, a silver Ford F-150. And again, the entity that knows it's being documented engages in that, but that's a different looking license plate. It doesn't say California, doesn't say no state on it. License plate 8JVT150. Oh, actually, I think there does say some small carrot. I can't see. Let me see. Oh, I think I got that last spot. All right, at 5:45 p.m., you'll see the male get up to go talk to the driver. That's called audible activity creation, and it's pacing. And the form is he's getting up to say something. It's crossing path repeatedly. It's pacing. Yeah, it says, I don't know what that license plate is. It's a different looking license plate. And he's talking with the path. I focus my vision to a different location, and that's a demon that's getting up and crossing the path, and that's the pacing conduct. It's 5:46 p.m. and that'll be on the surveillance cameras. Garda World is present in relevant position. Their vehicles at a liquor store. It is license plate 6FYM531. License plate 7NXE169, I believe. It is currently 5:46 p.m. And as Omnitrans sits at its bus stop, this is peculiarized light that they are stalking with as I am on the bus. There's no form, and that is touching again at 5:46 p.m. KRU. I can't really see that one. Scratch that. at the plaza where the Claim Jumper and I believe that's MOR More Furniture in and out. And there's a Walmart in this plaza as well, right here adjacent to the 15 freeway. Understand that people are monitoring on the 15 freeway. That's why the fake sun is remaining in alignment with me. This is systematic monitoring by the people of the state. And they are monitoring on the 15 freeway. Just want to point that out. It is Victoria Gardens. They're monitoring. Jared, the Gallery of Jewelry. This is a facilitating venue in relevant position. And understand the repeated touching. This is exposing the entirety of the entity to what is prosecution for terrorism and sexual violence, acting via omnitrans. So I'm documenting where I am and what I'm subject to and who is engaging in it, acting on behalf of an entity. Jared Jeweler located at 12430 on Foothill Boulevard. License plate 679NL handicap. XQU 728. It is 5:48 p.m. Directed light on the curbs as these demon-possessed stalkers are driving by the bus. Same exact P.O.C. And this is a very violent sex offender because nothing about, even if the actual sun was in front of the bus, that's not light activity. That's bouncing back into the depths of the bus to touch. That's the same laser light conduct. That's the same light activity as I show you at any other venue. And this is a sex offender with knowledge of what you're documenting. Going to prosecute and make an example out of omnitrans. They like to touch on my breasts and on my body. That's the reality of what I'm documenting, and they keep doing it. It's licensed. It's 5:49 p.m. Let's see, license 8ARE 389. It is. I'm at Carino's Italian bus stop number. I don't see a bus stop number. This is a flashing of light that appears. That's still touching with light, and it's also impossible light. It's 5:50 p.m. Flashing of light. This is ongoing touching. This is the tendency. You're seeing how psychopaths and the issue that they have, and the ongoing incessant violations by a public entity operating this system. And this is the ability to break down every violation and prosecute them, the entirety of that entity for that. But I just want to be clear, this is the nature of demonic activity. These are psychopaths, very violent and sexually predatory actors. This is the reality of it. And this is placing all of that into a legal framework and prosecuting it, including shipping those out of here that don't even belong in this country. Especially when you want to engage in monitoring with a government. We have enough American sex offenders. We send the rest of them back to wherever their place of origin is. 5:50 p.m. 8XS, I'm sorry, I messed that one up. You can skip that. It's 5:51 p.m. I am crossing what is Foothill and Victoria Commons. And what you hear talking, that's audible activity. And understand, even as I speak, it's audible activity with which the entity is monitoring. So I just want to see everything you hear is intentional activity creation. Everything. That's why the environment is present. 28077796. That's a truck. And this is license 8VRE 304, 8UWV 453. The truck, it's California 185046. In relevant position, creating light activity in the fake sun. It's proceeding in relevant position on the road at Rochester and Foothill Boulevard. Passing the old spaghetti factory. Understand, while they're monitoring via interstate commerce, this is bus stop number 7112. While they're monitoring via interstate commerce, you're speaking to what is the ongoing federal violations that are also of any sexual nature, which is what I'm revealing right now. And you are speaking to the ability to reach across state lines and prosecute, such as truck drivers, who very often are acting on behalf of companies that are outside of the state. This is speaking to interstate commerce and what is federal stalking by a government, and the way you're able to reach across state lines and enforce your rights against a sex offender engaging in federal stalking in the state of California. All right, and doing so includes very vast prosecution, because the entity engages, as I'm showing, a broad 11738. This is the Carl's Jr. where I'm at on Foothill Boulevard. This is speaking to the broad violations of a government that are also sexually nature and life-threatening, while sexual in nature and life-threatening, while they engage in monitoring with the people on behalf of a government. I'm at Foothill and Mayton. As you monitor together, you molest together. Bus number 7862. I'm sorry, bus stop number 7862. It's 5:53 p.m. And I want to be clear, I already captured at this time, I'm standing inside of the Fontana Lewis Library and Technology Center in the city of Fontana. And what do you clearly see in my camera lens? I've already published this. The state's fake sun, and the state is acting like the sun is setting in perfect alignment with me through the window of that Fontana Lewis Library and Technology Center window. That was not the sun then, and this is not the sun now. That is in direct conflict, totally deviating from that presence, which would never coexist anyway with being over the Upland Public Library at D Street, including as I exit, which somehow then ventures over to the entrance side where I'm in alignment with it as I exit that library after it remains over D Street all day long. But I just want to be clear, this is what you're looking at. The state is nowhere near being in alignment with Spring Street, as it is in the windshield of this window of the Omnitrans bus at Foothill and Milliken at 5:54 p.m. This is speaking to the sex offender, as I'm documenting, identified as Omnitrans. All right? That's P.O.C. License 4X24K04. Bus stop number 7114 at Milliken and Foothill. It's 5:54 p.m. That's a touching at 5:54. All right, 5:56 p.m. I did capture video so you can see what is the opening and shutting of a door, ordinary functioning of a vehicle, and what is the ongoing method of what is moving light with simultaneity to the opening and closing of the door. Not any reflection of sunlight, as that's clearly not the sun, and that's also not the behavior of sunlight that is creating like flash photography affect. And then also shooting light like lasers. This is the state aiming its direct light and touching while doing so. The same thing that I'm documenting at every single venue. This is it ongoing on the venue of Omnitrans, which is speaking to the ongoing conduct of a sex offender, all right? And the ongoing pattern of conduct while it is federal stalking simultaneously underway, going out of your way to sexually molest as you are monitoring with communication devices, all right? It is currently, let me see, 5:57 p.m. That's called audible activity. That's a demon using a horn to stalk with activity as I engage in new movement. All right. Stopping at the bus stop is no forum. She's driving in front of what is a fake sun and directed light filling this bus and repeatedly molesting. It is 5:57 p.m. Omnitrans is crossing path as well. Another, I guess, Route 66 driving past this one. That's the same actor they're monitoring. So I just want to point out, not only are you thinking about Fontana Lewis, but what I've shown you in hundreds of videos at Ontario Open Family Community Library, the sun would never be visible onto the bus, aiming this light onto these demons are on the bus covered in directed light, right? Sitting in what is not sunlight. And you're going to remember what is the placement of the state's fake sun over the McCarthy construction site right in front of the Ontario Open Family Community Library, which is nowhere visible or being in alignment with Foothill as the state's fake sun is there, for example. And then you're also going to think about what is the intentional creation of this light activity and touching of my body. This is how you're prosecuting and understand the sexual predator that is Omnitrans, that is the state though, okay? And this is just being able to identify it and prosecuting profusely for that tendency to repeatedly molest. All right, that's the pattern of conduct, and that's Satan just creating audible activity in directed light, not even sitting in sunlight, yawning very loudly. That's a demon. That's P.O.C. It is 5:58 p.m. And you're also going to think about what is being over what is, again, Upland Public Library nor Ontario Open Family Community Library, and those are just two examples, are in alignment with Foothill. So I would never be able to see the fake sun, for example, from D Street. I would never be able to see it over the building of the Upland Public Library as I'm stepping out of the entrance at the same exact time, but you have it in alignment with the windshield and while they are touching repeatedly as they are opening and closing the door. Under that, which is under no circumstances even plausible to suggest it is the sun. This is the predator that is the sex offender. I'm speaking to the ongoing intent to touch. Right, and how ridiculously fake this light source is. That's why I'm going to prosecute, and that's how there is no argument. So you're speaking to what is nothing but sexual violence. Nothing but sexual violence. All right? Western Express, using its bus as a surface for the state to aim directed light on and touch, all right, as opposed to opening and closing the Omnitrans bus door and touching with that method. That's Western Express, using that bus as a means of federal stalking and sexual molestation. All right, it is P.O.C. and that's terrorism by Western Express. It's the same demonic conduct, aiming light onto surfaces. This is satanic, what they're doing, while federal stalking is underway. It is 5:59 p.m. State's fake sun at what is Foothill and Haven, as we just passed, I believe. This is Bobo's Beauty Supply. It is 6 p.m. on the dot. That's flashing of light as they're opening and closing the door on Foothill Boulevard. That's repeated touching. All right, flash photography like they're taking pictures on the bus. All right, this is P.O.C. And understand this is the same thing they do inside of the vehicle, what I'm documenting at night while the state is stalking and playing a helicopter. Also documented the helicopter while I'm on the same exact venue, okay? I'm going to prosecute for that. You have what is the same pattern of conduct underway. Flashing of light. Nobody is holding a camera. That's the state aiming directed light. That's not even realistic reflection of sunlight. And the state is aiming directed light directly through the windshield. The light source is not above the structure of the bus. It's the same exact pattern of conduct. The Omnitrans is nothing but a moving venue. Now I am passing Haven and Foothill. State facilitating venue, Rancho Cucamonga Superior Court, at the same intersection where the state is keeping its fake sun and its directed light. All right, I just want to point that out. Rancho Cucamonga Superior Court is nothing but a venue where demonic activity, federal stalking, and kidnapping was documented. P.O.C. It is currently 6:01 p.m. That's audible activity. That's touching with light. All right, so you're talking about documenting what is terrorism, harassment, and sexual molestation by entity, okay? It's 6:01 p.m. Directed light covering the buildings of the plaza at the intersection of Haven and Foothill. This is the same thing the state does with the Upland Fire Station as I exit. Keeps its fake sun all day long. Acts like the sun is setting, it's not, and aiming directed light at the same location where I'm at, covering it with directed light. That's what the state is doing with these buildings along Foothill. The same thing the state does at the Miller Amphitheater outside of the Fontana Lewis Library. That's what I documented. This was the pattern of conduct. It's 6:02 p.m. The Villaggio on Route 66. This is a housing subdivision 10220, where the state is keeping its fake sun in alignment with the bus on Foothill. And this is documentation of an incessant sexual molestation by Omnitrans. This is toward the prosecution of the entire entity, but this is also revealing what is a template for how you're going to prosecute any third party, including a commercial actor, as they engage in terrorism and sexual violence, which is the pattern of conduct. You could just swipe in a different name, engaging in the same exact P.O.C. And this is capturing Omnitrans as the sex offender that it is. Understand it's the same public entity, it's the same demonic entity. This is a shopping plaza on Foothill Boulevard. The address 9950. Ramona Liquor. We are at Ramona and Foothill Boulevard in the city of Rancho Cucamonga. 6:03 p.m. 7NQT778. Understand they're sex offenders. 8GLS158. They're sex offenders. Every single last one of them. That the bus is vibrating from what's supposed to be a motorcycle beside the bus. That's called sensational activity by a psychopath. That's demonic activity practiced by Omnitrans. A motorcycle being next to the bus in traffic does not cause the bus to vibrate. That's P.O.C. That's what the state was doing inside of the San Bernardino Sheriff's Department as well. That's demonic activity, okay? I'm revealing demons.
Stop requested.
And these demons are sexually violent. They love to touch all over. You can prosecute for that. Prosecute for that. Drain the pockets, reveal them as terrorists, and you prosecute criminally as well. It's 6:04 p.m. 8 ATP 351 and Starbucks. In this plaza at the intersection of Archibald and Foothill. There's a Bank of America across the street. And this is what? Liberty Tax at the intersections. So I'm at Archibald and Foothill. That's what I'm going to document. All right, and they're all, by they, I mean the people that are patrolling. These are demons that are patrolling under the state's fake sun, indirected light, and they have enlarged shadows of the vehicles, right? So while they're driving in the street, the tall shadows of their car, this is magnification of light. License 5MUL453. License 8MNY093. License, let's see, can't see that one. 6TUZ868. While they are driving on a crossing path, their magnified size of their vehicles are stretching across the sidewalk all the way up to the staircase onto the grass of the shopping plaza. That's the same thing the state does with directed light. The state is doing the inverse as it's aiming directed light, which is magnified. All right, this is what makes my shadow, where I'm 5'5", makes my shadow 6'2". All right, this is magnification, the directed light that these demons are driving in, and this creates substantial light activity. License 8MOD010. This is systematic demonic activity. 8SKN. I can't see the rest of them. It's currently 6:06 p.m. It is, I'm at the McDonald's on Foothill Boulevard. It looks like it's located at, I can't see the address. I'm still at the Archibald and Foothill Boulevard, and there's a McDonald's that's right there near the corner. It's for purposes of where I'm at. Across the street is Muffin Massage Cafe, hair, cafe, salon, beauty lounge. This is where I'm at right now. McDonald's is monitoring. Understand, sitting in the drive-thru, headlights aimed in this direction. That is the level of stalking conduct that the people engage in. This is why the environment is present. It is coordinated demonic conduct. These demons are not separate. They are acting in concert. in a deliberate environment. Foothill and Klusman, Klusman, passing Alberto's located at 4538, I believe, Foothill. 9499 Grand Burger on Foothill Boulevard. That's where I'm at 6:07 p.m.
Stop requested. If possible, please use rear doors.
Si posible. Favor usar la puerta trasera.
7JBG 522, I believe. I'm at the same plaza, Foothill Village, where the Chuck E. Cheese, the Smile Care brands for less, and the state is in alignment with the bus, aiming directed light in that same location on the same street. Yeah, Foothill Village Plaza at the intersection of Hellman and Foothill. At the Pep Boys. There's a Pep Boys at the corner. It's 6:08 p.m. Passing Orchid Plaza. Let's see, I believe this is Pepper Tree Apartments, a former place of residence where I was subject to monitoring, at the intersection of Vineyard and Foothill Boulevard. At the Vineyard Gateway, looking at an address 8880. That's Gentle Dental at Foothill and Vineyard in Rancho Cucamonga. It's 6:10 p.m. All right, 6:10 p.m. I did capture video to show you the state stalking with his light source. License 693. And its light source is in the windshield of the bus. Okay, 1 VODE 4. And that is at the video that I capture. You want to look at that. This is Stalking with Light. I am at Foothill Boulevard. And this is the same exact street, 8NTK 148. The same exact street where the state kept its fake sun in the window of the bus that I'm taking the exact same route, Route 66, and I'm going westbound. And this is at 10 o'clock in the morning, okay? This is the state keeping its light source on the same street, aiming light onto the bus. Going from the windshield to any side window is no different. This is the same exact conduct, and this is the impossibility of that. That's not even conduct trying to mimic a sun. But again, you cannot mimic the sun because the actual sun is not remaining over any building for the duration of the day. It's just not. And sunlight does not create 2 and 3 shadows. Sunlight does not cause your shadows to stand upright on surfaces and be on ceilings. This is the documented conduct with the state. This is demonic activity while they stalk with light. That's what that's called. It's entirely demonic, and it is fully employed by omnitrans. That is a sex offender while stalking with light. All right, touching with that state's engineered light. That's a very violent sex offense, and that's how that's going to be legislated. That's how that's going to be prosecuted. It is 6:12 p.m. At, I want to say this is, Red Hill CC and Foothill Boulevard. I don't see any address. It's 6:12 p.m. and this is the intersection I'm at. Red Hill CC and Foothill Boulevard. Where am I at? Oh, Walmart. 5KBJ. I can't really see the rest of that one. It is currently 6:14 p.m. though. At what is the intersection of Foothill and Memorial Park. 5KBJ 663. 7DOG 061.
Stop requested. If possible, please use rear doors.
Sí, pues sí. Favor usar la puerta trasera.
EE343 handicap. That's audible activity as they play announcements on the bus in directed light and are engaging in relevant positioning. $6XZC772. At, I believe this is Campus Avenue and Foothill Boulevard, yeah, at 6:15 p.m. The 7-Eleven located at 720 Foothill Boulevard or 720 Campus Avenue. It's at the intersection there. State is aiming directed light on the buildings around. Just places light around, and you get a knack for paying attention to the detail. The state just swipes light around, and this is how you are stalking with light, keeping that demonic light around. All right, and the people engage in that demonic activity, and it's demonic because of the context. Federal stalking is underway, so you are looking at a demon that's aiming their headlights onto a wall or onto a tree, or turning on their hazard lights, doing so while outwardly looking like they're doing whatever. They look like a demon that's stalking with light. That's what they look like. That's the P.O.C. All right, this is the raw understanding of what is demonic, concerted activity while they are monitoring with communication devices. 14844E2. Monitoring at the Circle K. And it's currently 6:16 p.m. Circle K, CVS pharmacy is across the street. The same intersection, I believe. Yeah. This is criminal facilitation while Omnitrans has its blinkers on and the people are patrolling, sitting in the parking lot of CVS and of the Circle K. These are plazas on both sides of the street. They stalk with light and they are patrolling in traffic. This is entirely satanic activity. All right, this is how, and that's how they engage in the surrounding with light, and also Omnitrans's blinkers and hazards. That's criminal facilitation as well. It is 6:17 p.m. 7DTW 500. You can even see how the buildup of traffic is called relevant positioning and light activity. Yeah, 7DTW 500. Let's see. It is currently 6:18 p.m. and I am, as I've already shown, back in the city of Upland at 5th Avenue and Foothill. NL 7991, I believe.
Stop requested.
That'll be on the next one.
If possible, please use rear doors.
Sí. Favor usar la puerta trasera.
At what is now Euclid and Foothill. At the same intersection where I got on the 60 eastbound today, 20 East Foothill Boulevard, where the U.S. Bank is. GODKNWZ. God knows that you're a stalker and you're serving Satan. That's what he knows. You're stalking with light, aiming at in relevant position in the alleyway while the bus is stopped at traffic. This is the means of stalking with light. That's what's so hilarious. And by the way, saying God bless you under the fake sun is called audible activity. It's 6:20 p.m.
Have you heard about the newest way to get around town? Meanwhile, cheap bills are not affordable. Now, regular transit means download the Omni Ride Unlimited app today. Visit omnitrans.org for more information.
All right, it is 6:20 p.m. And that has been documentation of what is sexually violent federal stalking by Omnitrans and criminal facilitation of that sexual violence. And that's just with directed light. Touching with any element of light while federal stalking is underway is a violation of the person. Thank you very much. And I have arrived at, what is the plaza where the Vons is? And that's audible activity. That's bus number 2357. That's license 1302444. And I am referencing the cameras. Demon-possessed stalkers on Foothill and in the plaza. That's P.O.C. Alrighty, and it is 6:21 p.m. Alright, federal stalking is underway. Demons are sitting in their vehicles and patrolling. I'm going to document 4KZP960. 8GDV689. It's 6:23 p.m. I'm in the parking lot of what is the Vons located at 81 West. Peculiarized light and stalking by sitting around in the parking lot, patrolling via Foothill Boulevard and Euclid Avenue traffic. This is P.O.C. 29138P2 56175B1. And again, Vons is just identifying it's the entirety of the plaza and it spans beyond that. This is a mode. This is a method of documenting an entity. All right. Heart, MIFIT, 50291W2, 8YCZ258, 8KRX819, 8AJJ811, 7XFX751, 6TLZ848, 7FTU117, 8PPY968, 8URR214, 8VOP084, 6MBA884, 8SCY959, 8CBE099, that's audible activity, 8FZV404, 7POV519, 8ERR349, 7PZL448, 7MTR414, 7UEE971, 5DID 261, 4GGV 348. All right, stalking, sitting in their vehicle using their headlights. This is a demon that is stalking in the path. It is literally the identical conduct. It's just a different face. You're recognizing demonic activity. You're identifying demons based on their conduct because the face looks different. It's the same demonic possession. 8 NIS 764, and she's a terrorist, so she's engaging in the satanic system. 8 VCW 668. She's also a sex offender, as I just documented, getting off third-party facilitating venue, Omnitrans. Right, 6AOU 541. She's also a sex offender for what I documented last night, while the state does the exact same molestation while I'm in the car. Right? While these demons know exactly where I sleep at night. 8FAF233, 50515X1, 8MLW214. This sex offender touching, 8054 5G2, 5JOW413, 7VKN 675, 6TUM210, 8YCZ258, 7VAS 415. All right, that little demon-possessed stalker that I read her license plate in the black Kia. She's wearing a little black backpack. She's got blonde hair and a ponytail. She's going to go document herself on the cameras inside of Vons. All right, 6TUM210. She's acting on behalf of an entity. She's not acting by herself. 8MWM986. And guess what? She's still monitoring while they're inside of the grocery store. All right? Her sitting in her car was mode for stalking with light. All right, and then you go out and make a purchase. You can go do whatever you want in relevant position. You're monitoring, and you are demon possessed. BZNR44, that's Florida. 8NNE219, 7NUH975, 8KBY593, 7ZMJ429, 8RNW745, 8XVZ915, 8JRP654. 13787B1, 8CSV194, 8BZU422, 8XGV145, 7RVG506. That's just audible activity. 8SXF913, 7P06101, 7GBL575. Let's see. Uptown and Country is monitoring. 8JDW328 is monitoring. 8EJN746 is monitoring. 8ETP751 is monitoring. 8FAF233, in case I didn't read that one already. Right? And you already know this. When you can document a random employee at a Starbucks in directed light, you know that you're surrounded by demons and there is no form. This is revealing and documenting and prosecuting Satan himself. 6GYS052. There is no form. 8SAS 666 2314 1T2. And that Starbucks, by the way, is inside of that Vons, where I'm documenting these license plates in the parking lot. Third party license plate. 8SAV 703. 5LBP 637. 8JDW 328. I think I read that one already though. It's currently 6:28 p.m. And this is the same plaza where the Chase Bank is. And I actually, not only did I bank with Chase before, I banked at this particular bank. Remember, I lived down the street in the city of Upland. And while I was subject to federal stalking, understand my banking information is public information amongst the state and the people of the state. They know what numbers I'm entering when I'm online, checking my bank account, checking my balances, moving around my money, depositing electronically my paychecks. This is in violation that banking laws that Chase is in violation of, as federal stalking sure enough was underway. And this is the facilitating venue where the fake sun is over that Chase Bank. This is how you need to understand intersecting laws in which you will prosecute. Having bank with Chase Bank is a matter of documentation. All right, and they were violating my laws and my privacy, violating laws and my privacy while they were subject to what they were monitoring me with the state and the people of the state in violation of laws that readily exist. This is what needs to be known where the government is monitoring. These laws that they have in place, it is a fallacy. It's an illusion. When you realize what the government is doing, and this is why it is so expansive, every aspect, every intersecting law, while you are revealing what a government is engaging in, and it directly affects, for example, your banking. And let me document Chase, for example, where Tracy Banks engaged in trying to conspire with Betty, the former landlord, at my at my Reading Way apartment in Upland, where Tracy Banks engages in harassment. This is the third party that's harassing me, engaging in false accusations after I required her to start paying me for rent, 7HGS 106. And as I do so, she gives me a check, which I deposit into my Chase bank account, 00134M2, 6MID427. And as I deposit that a little bit over $500, all right, I didn't even charge her 50% of the rent, less than half of the rent. 7SSH665, Stalking with Light, 6JJE926, 8MZM331, 7YWS756, 7NZL111. This exact same Chase Bank is the one where I deposited this money. And as I deposit the money, I want to document not only this attempt to accuse me of stealing $550 or so, which doesn't even make sense, by the way. Understand, this is my apartment that I live in, so why would I not pay the rent and get evicted? I don't have a history of any evictions. I had excellent credit, okay? This is not my background, and it doesn't even make sense. I am the breadwinner in the household. I am the one paying the bills. I am now requiring you to pay me rent. And all of a sudden, now you're accusing me of stealing money from you and not paying the rent with the money that I required you to give me to pay a portion of the rent. This is what happened. I deposited inside of this bank of Chase. And let me be clear, 7SSH665 is monitoring. Let me be clear, the paper trail for that deposit disappeared. It disappeared. And and also, if you're familiar with banking practices and also the ability to do everything electronically, when you deposit it, and this was the case for everything else, understand what's the context. I'm becoming aware of the fact that strangers are doing very weird things at my job. I'm always subject to what is harassment at the place of worship, which is nothing but a religious organization of Sunrise Church. But I am in a different position now. I'm not so much laying down for it anymore. I'm looking at them differently. I have a different posture toward what is hostility by demons, all right, who are just engaging in the P.O.C. in what they call a church. It's not a church. It's just a building with the word church on it. Those are demons engaging and congregating inside of that venue that is Sunrise Church. But I'm subject to harassment there nonetheless. And I'm becoming aware of it. And I'm also becoming aware of what is law enforcement, maintaining presence. And the people of the state really are the ones that I initially noticed. And they are literally in groups around my apartment. I'm becoming aware of this, and I am becoming more being presented with more incidents of harassment. And this was one of them. And so as I require, after being subject to harassment on the job, and reporting it and nothing being done about that harassment that I suffered working with demons, 7UMG 416, working amongst the demon possessed that were monitoring me and harassing me in the workplace. And nothing was done when I reported it to the demons that worked in the human resources. And so I require pay me some of the rent now. You know, I'm going to work less. I don't feel like I need to be subject to this. I educated myself. I will find some other way to, get another job. This is what I'm thinking. This is what I was planning to do. I deposited this money that was given to me by Tracy Banks into my Chase bank account at this very intersection of Foothill and Euclid in the city of Upland. And when you deposit something electronically, I did my banking online, and I also went inside physically and deposited. And for this particular check, actually, I went inside of the bank and I deposited it physically. She gave me a hard copy of a check, and I went inside of the bank and I deposited that check. And that is something that I would have access to for months, okay? If not longer than that, because you not only get your bank statements, you can look at them online. You can look at it on your mobile phone. You can look at it, your history, for a very long time. I want to be clear. After I documented that check, it totally disappeared. Could not be proven that I ever deposited it. Understand that this is a concerted activity of Chase is either a third party or a state actor. I'll research that, JP Morgan, but I'm sure it's some subsidiary of some government actor. But this is a venue nonetheless where I was subject to P.O.C. and this is harassment by the entity, while my deposit of that check given to me by Tracy Banks, where she's conspiring with the landlord to have me kicked out, claiming that I did not pay the rent, even though I did pay the rent. I deposited the check and paid the landlord with a money order. I maintained that money order receipt, and I confronted the landlord as she was stating that she did not have the rent money, which she in fact did have. She long deposited it. They were hoping that I didn't have the proof to establish that I did pay the rent. Understand that this is entirely intentional by an entity that was monitoring me and was hostile to the fact that I began noticing the fact that very weird things amongst the people of the state were happening. and I was paying attention to it. This was the absolute removal of my deposit of that check, and understand what would have been the repercussions of that. That landlord would have kicked me out. She can claim that she wouldn't have done that, and she would have eventually, she's saying that because I proved that I deposited that, that I paid her for rent, which was not a question. She knew that. You cashed it. You cashed in that money order. You knew that you got my rent money. All right. So if I were not able to prove it with a paper trail, then that would have been the conspiratorial act by Tracy Banks and that landlord, third parties monitoring me. All right, and Chase Bank, where I was subject to that, removing evidence. Well, it is evidence, but removing literally the paper trail of a deposit, which is totally out of character. When you deposit something, it remains a part of your transaction history for a very long time. You can access it electronically, and when you get your hard copies mailed to you, if you opt in for that. All right, I called the bank. Could not find it, and they absolutely claimed that it didn't exist. They claimed that they couldn't find anything and that the transaction did not exist whatsoever. I want to be clear that Chase is a facilitating venue. This is where I'm at right now. This is the same place where the state's fake sun is over me. I documented hundreds of license plates. This is where I was at. This is part of that ongoing documentation. This venue where I am engaged in criminal summoning with the Upland Police Department. This is speaking to the history of criminal activity by Chase Bank. That's criminal. While you're engaging in federal stalking. All right. And this is the showing what is the violation of your rights while you're subject to that government system, and all the ways in which your privacy is violated. The people of the state knowing my bank accounts, my emails, they know my balance in my account. Understand that that's part of an effort to also keep me dependent, if you will. And I put that in air quotes because I wasn't dependent. I was oppressed. Denied opportunities that I am overqualified for, denied opportunities that I am well qualified for with the bar license, 8WHV110. And that was to keep me at an economic status, right? In other words, keeping me with a third party, all right? Living with Tracy Banks. And then in order to stop me from being able to live on my own, suddenly Tracy Banks loses her job. And I'm coming to the rescue doing what I think I need to do for my mother, whom I love and would do anything for. I'll get an apartment. We can live together. It's no big deal. Erica to the rescue, and that's exactly what I did. Understand that this is intent to keep me surrounded by a third party in my home. That's what that was about, okay? And the denial of employment opportunities, being paid less than what I should have been paid for the jobs that I was doing. This is part of the ongoing pattern of conduct. This is how the state was engaging in that P.O.C, and it was to keep me in that situation of being surrounded by a third party living in the home with me, which is a facilitating venue as federal stalking was underway. I just want to speak to what is the engagement in Chase in the pattern of conduct, 8RZY017, and I'm going to prosecute this entity. It's documented that I did business with them, and you are necessarily engaging in violation of my privacy as the people maintain the same elements, the same demonic system is underway, knowledge of what I write, knowledge of everything that I'm doing online, knowledge of what I'm looking at, my bank statements, my account numbers, while federal stalking is underway, okay? These demons are patrolling around in the parking lot in directed light 6ZFX713. That is a demon-possessed stalker. She's a psychopath. They're documenting themselves on the camera at the Chase Bank parking lot and on the ATM cameras. They're engaging in federal stalking right now. I'm right here. They're monitoring. It is license 8GXM172. On camera at the Chase ATM 5SRR414. He's monitoring. He can pull out $2,500 out of his bank account. He's monitoring, stalking in the path while he's doing so. Okay? There's nothing that you are doing that is superseding the P.O.C. And you have what is the state that is also flying over this parking lot. That was a context because I want to document Chase Bank. And that's just one method to document. The fact that I ever dealt with him where the state is monitoring, that's exposing that bank, that company, that institution to a whole line of charges. Okay? 8 PV and 599. And that's the reality. I banked with Chase for a very long time, since, for example, before 2013. All right, I created a Chase bank account in the city of Florida, and I maintained that bank account literally until I moved away and moved from my apartment, essentially probably in I want to say 2018, 2019, if not before that. But that is a matter of record that I have documented. And this is only because of the reasonably foreseeable financial state that one will be in where a government is monitoring you and you're subject to harassment. And if you have any intention on enforcing your rights, knowing that, well, I know for me for sure, I went to school too long and I paid too much money. I paid my debts, and I'm not going to subject myself to harassment by a bunch of what I did not know were demons at the time, but a bunch of psychopaths that are following me around, engaging in very highly peculiar conduct and then harassing me as well, and nothing being done about it. So figuring out a different route to make money, and doing it with my education that I earned. And so this is reasonably foreseeable to occur where a government is monitoring you, and understand the demonic behavioral pattern is harassment, just like I documented at Omnitrans. On behalf of Omnitrans, but at the Metrolink train station. Those are demons that I'm encountering. This is hostility to documentation. And this is the demonic behavioral pattern as you're exhibiting, showing what is demonic activity. 7TJR467, monitoring with a minor. These are aged federals engaging in federal stalking, the aged 8FWU747. It does not matter how old you are. It is currently 6:40 p.m. and that's context as to where I am, and also documentation of what is Chase Bank, located at 31 West Foothill Boulevard. It's currently 6:40 p.m. This is P.O.C. $8K XW242. Can't really see that one. It's 6:41 p.m. 6VIA 980. 7CTM 293. Excuse me. 6EW A440 W640HO. Can't really see that one. All right, it is currently 6:41 p.m. 8 U.O.C 674 7BHH 755. Patrolling in a line. They're crossing paths. 7K VW 036 8NQW 580. P.O.C. All trailing in behind Tracy Banks. This is light activity, and the demons disperse into the parking lot. That's surrounding the perimeter with light activity. It's 6:41 p.m. $5YFL414, stalking with peculiarized light inside of Woodside Senior Apartments. Amplification of audible activity. Minion crosses path in real time on surveillance cameras at Woodside. A Latino male, gray sweats, black t-shirt, with simultaneity to my audibly recording the pattern of conduct. This is P.O.C. 5XNS055, 6GBB673, 8GEN638, 4KSGO20. And it is currently 7:17 p.m. This is the same community where I just showed you what in video is. First of all, the state is hovering, flying very low over the building. That is the stalker. That is the psychopath in an airplane. Okay. And directed light, I showed you that's Woodside Senior Apartments with the directed light of the gate, the shadow of the gate. Understand the gate is on the street, in front of the building. So that is showing what is the shadow of the gate moving upward on the side of that apartment building where the gate is in front. That there would be no shadow of that gate on the wall of that apartment building. It would be on the ground. That's directed light in front of me. This is the same apartment complex. This is demonic activity. This is the same monitoring conduct that they were engaging in when I stayed in apartment 51, while they engaged in criminal summoning, harassment by entity, and engaging in ongoing monitoring while the state would fly over by plane and helicopter all day and all night. And these demons in a 55 plus community engaging in demonic activity. Understand, Satan will use whoever, and they are using the seniors of Woodside Senior Apartment, stalking with light, with peculiarized light, and the state is amplifying audible activity. This is P.O.C. This is facilitating venue, Woodside Senior Apartments. It's 7:18 p.m. 5YFL414, driven by a Latino male, who is seen on the surveillance cameras inside of Woodside Senior, crossing path with simultaneity to my audibly reciting his stalking maintenance presence inside of the car with the hazard lights on, and then crossing path in directed light. Okay, and he is now on camera leaving the adjacent position in the parking lot, drives off with hazard lights at 7:20 p.m. That's P.O.C. It's 7:20 p.m. And understand, monitoring is ongoing. That was just one demon coming in close proximity to create light activity. All right. It is 7:20 p.m. That's P.O.C.